kids. It's time to get some SML Podcast all up in that.
Yeah, if you ever go on a film set, you'll hear a lot of crazy words. They call small C-stands, which are little metal stands that often hold up lights or flags. So they can call those Gary Colemans.
I wasn't ready. Ready. No, that knows that now we know the type of show that they actually want to see. So we'll just start incorporating it into our show that we take dumps during it, and then they'll be happy.
This is good.
Wasn't the dump show before you joined the chat?
Before I joined the chat?
No, before Don joined.
Oh,
I see, because I was in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I was peeing though, guys. I don't call that a dump.
That ruined the whole theme of things.
I know it's the worst. I apologize, but it was just a pee.
Oh well, maybe next time. So yeah, well, I guess we should kind of get started. So what's up, everyone? This is the SML Podcast. I am your host, Joe. Joining me as usual is Chris. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
And then CJ is back as well. Stop talking, Chris. No one cares.
Okay, fine.
CJ's back. CJ, how are you doing?
Better than
wonderful. That sounds great.
Better than Chris.
Joining us today, we have two guests joining us to talk about their brand new game. I'm probably gonna ruin the one name, but Kazuo and Don.
You fucked up Don, bro.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Not that hard. I don't know how you screwed that up.
I tried. Don?
Kazuo,
is it
nailed.
Don?
Don? I don't know. It's. I'm from the Midwest. I'm from Detroit, so it's Don. It's not like Dawn. It's not like the sun is rising, although the sun here is pretty devastating right now.
What about from Boston? Would you be Dawn?
No, wouldn't it be Dan?
Dan?
Like
Oh, Dan. You'd be Dan.
Be Dan.
Hey, Dan. Dan Thacker. Dan Thacker. How the fuck you doing?
Dan, how you been?
Dan Thacker. Yeah.
It's wicked cold up here, Dan.
It's wicked cold up here, kid.
It sounds like just a recording for Mafia 3 dialogue.
I've missed my calling.
Indeed, you have. So tell us about who you guys are, what you're doing on our show, and why you decided to join us, I guess.
Kazuo, you take this, bruh.
You got it. So we are Imagos Softworks. We are producing two different games. Starr Mazer, which is a combination of point-and-click elements a la Monkey Island and Space Quest and shoot-'em-up games. And we also just released a game on Steam Early Access called Starr Mazer DSP that is available right now for people to play. It is a 9-level arcade-style rogue-lite shoot-'em-up. The Early Access game currently has the first 3 levels done. You can get a really awesome preview of these fun, polished levels and what it's like to play. And we're here on the show because of our mutual friend Jason told us about this cool little podcast called SML Podcast. So
yeah, he lied to you. Our
we have to use different verbiage.
Sucker. No.
You got tricked. So welcome to the show. How are you two doing today?
Great.
Most excellent.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice. Let's start off with Starr Mazer, because that's the one I didn't even know you guys had 2 games. Jason didn't tell me that.
Oh, man.
He only told us about Starr Mazer.
We've been super loud about it.
Damn it, Jason.
Yeah, but he hasn't been following you on Twitter, so how would he know?
Yeah, I'm a piece of shit.
Ugh.
Yeah, you actually just followed us as of like 5 minutes ago. So a bit late to the party, man.
Damn me. Damn me
so
to hell.
Starr Mazer, as Kazuo said, is a retro 60 point-and-click adventure shoot-'em-up in space. It takes place more than 1 million years from now. It's in the same vein as like a Space Quest, like the later Space Quest games, or any other Sierra like cool point-and-click game. But instead of like cheesy, horrible, hackneyed action elements, we use a horizontal scrolling shooter action elements. So it's largely a story game about a cool character named Brick M. Stonewood. The M stands for metal.
Yeah.
He's a relic of an older time. He's where men were men and justice was meted out of the barrel of a gun. He's a cool dude. Anyway, that's a game that's coming out next year. We're working really hard on it. But in the making of that game, we had to make an engine for the horizontal scrolling shoot 'em up bits. And we did so with our partners over at Pixel Jam, and we were testing it, and it turned out it was really fun on its own. So we decided to like amp up all the arcade elements and make a roguelike loop around a horizontal scrolling shooter. So we have a really cool game called Starr Mazer DSP, which is out now, as Kazuo said, on early access, which is a really cool, really functional pixel pretty roguelike horizontal scrolling shoot 'em up set in the Starr Mazer universe. So it takes place over 230 years before Starr Mazer.
Timelines.
God,
Yeah, timeline.
Story continuity and stuff.
Did you breathe while telling us that stuff, by the way?
Hey man, I don't breathe at all. I osmote.
That's fantastic. Oh, I don't even know where to start because you just gave us so much information in like
we
30
just started the show.
seconds.
It's gonna get so crazy.
That was the whole interview right there. Thank you.
Really, that answered every
Thanks
question
for
I
coming
had.
on.
So you did all the talking there for us.
It's built in Starr Mazer DSP is built with a language called HAX, EJXE, and it's Render Engine's OpenFL. We have a 5 or 6 man team on Starr Mazer DSP and a 10-person team on Starr Mazer proper. We recently hired a producer. Where most of us are based in Seattle, Washington, with a number of us scattered across the country. I emerged from a...
How difficult is it to manage people that are across the country?
Yeah, it's hard. It's a pain in the ass. Time zones are the worst, and like getting people paid like fast over state lines is difficult, and like keeping the timeline. Like I'm an active director, man. I like to be in there like pushing on people, and when one of those people's in like North Carolina, it's really hard.
So you can't just stand over their shoulder, like breathing in their ear, like
hey man, how's
I don't
that?
have a long enough bullwhip.
Yeah.
You need a really long stick to just poke them.
Right.
Hey, Don, I don't think you've properly introduced who you are on the team.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think either of you have.
With coffee and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I come in early in the morning and I make sure the toilet's all clean and the trash is all thrown out. I carry coffee around most of the time. I don't even like coffee. But I'm pretty good at my job.
How about you,
I'm the
Kazuo?
founder and director of Imagos Softworks. This is my company, and I make these games. They're my game.
Ah. now we're getting to the juicy details of who you are.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I have a team of people, but Starr Mazer is my baby. I've been wanting to make that game since I was 9. So I got a bunch of my friends together, and we're making a cool game.
Damn.
Yep.
Nice.
Did you have any kind of like previous was coding something that you started with really, really early and
I'd actually never seen a computer before, so I'm pretty lucky that I fell into this whole video game business. I thought it was made out of wood originally. Some Russian dude told me a potato, and I thought they meant like a real potato, so I went and bought a bunch of potatoes thinking it'd be really good. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I was a developer for 12 years. I was a big data developer for auto industry and then marketing companies. I quit that to build a film company in 2009. I threw everything away and started a film company. Made a film, a fairly successful film. The first narrative feature film on Steam, actually. You can go get it right now if you want it. It's called Motivation for Growth. It stars Jeff Holmes, the reanimator guy. It also has Starr Mazer in it, which is the debut of Starr Mazer, any element of the PDF of Starr Mazer. So I made that, and I realized I was really good at storytelling. I won a bunch of awards and stuff. Then I realized I was really good at storytelling and really good at programming. And put like programming and storytelling together, you get a video game.
I think your mic is starting to lose you. I'm having trouble hearing you.
Really? Can you hear me now? Is it better?
Yeah. I wonder if you were just drifting a little too far back away from the...
I might have been. I pulled it up closer to me. What did you miss? Where did I start? Did you hear enough?
I heard like some of it, but it was just getting really faint. So.
Oh man, I'm very rarely called faint.
Let's start from the top. What's up, everyone? This is
This is the best. My name is Melissa.
So Melissa, how are you doing?
So anyway, I was was a developer for 12 years, doing big data for auto industry, then marketing companies. I quit that and made a film company. I made a feature film called Motivational Growth, which was the first narrative feature film on Steam. You can get it right now on Steam or GOG.com. Stars Jeffrey Combs, who's the guy who played the Reanimator, and Wei-Yun from Deep Space Nine, or Brunt from Deep Space Nine. Cool dude. It also was the premiere of Starr Mazer. The first media for Starr Mazer is actually in that movie. I realized that being a storyteller and a programmer, you put those two things together, you get a guy who makes video games, right? So I started to, okay, full disclosure, I ran out of money. I'm making a movie, and I needed to get paid, and I didn't want to go back to doing big data, so I started selling all my services as a developer to video game companies. Met a couple of cool dudes at Pixel Jam, started working with them, worked on a couple of games, then started working as a narrative designer for a couple of whatever. Did a whole bunch of industry stuff, and then decided to make my own company. And made my own company. Boom.
Boom.
Explosions.
TLDR. You got your shit.
I think that was a TDLR.
Yeah. You got your own shit going on.
I'm curious to know the full-length version of the story. I think you could honestly fill up an hour and a half just by yourself.
I have. There's a Sup Holmes that they had to split into 3 parts.
Oh my lord! I don't even know where to start.
Well, you just call me your lord.
Because most of the time, our best shows are the ones that you can work off of other people with.
I know. Don is our new lord and savior, I guess.
That's twice you called me your lord. I love this. It's now my favorite show.
What about you, Kazuo? Tell us a bit about you, since I don't think you've actually spoken yet.
Wait a minute. I will allow it.
All right. So, I'm Kazuo Mayeda.
All right, enough of you.
I'm Kazuo Mayeda, the community manager for Starr Mazer. I run all of the Facebook, Twitter, and other social media campaigns, and generally in charge of setting up contests and making sure that Starr Mazer is always in the public's eye.
The good one.
Yeah, always in the good eye.
Aren't you also a partner at Imagos Softworks? I thought that was the thing. Did we not agree on that?
Well, no. As of recently, I've also been offered a partner in Imagos Softworks since I was there with Don since the beginning, and it's been one hell of a journey so far.
So how many years?
Guys, you can't see his video, but Kazuo is an attractive man.
Well, his pixel art version looks pretty handsome.
Yeah.
With his glowing white eyes.
Yeah.
You should probably get that checked.
Yeah. It looks unhealthy.
Oh, no, it's quite normal. I'm sorry, I missed your question. What was it?
I just saw a kitty get shoved off something.
That wasn't my hand. That was a girl's hand. I've got a live girl here.
Email.
That's Lindsay Peck, also known as Pepper Plays on Twitter, and she's a Twitch broadcaster, not a Bing or whatever broadcaster. She's also the producer at Imagos Softworks. She's just chilling out here with me.
It's fantastic.
So now we just need another feed and another computer, and then we'll just have something else for you to fit on the screen.
We have 7 other people. If you want to get this thing real,
can you just set
if you want
your tripod up to auto pan for you around the room?
Just duct tape it to an oscillating fan.
Yeah, there you go.
It's
3 cats in the office.
3? That's nothing.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, how many are you up to?
8.
Joe, that's bonkers. You have an actual problem.
I know.
That is insanity.
I know.
That's the thing where doctors actually can intervene if you need them to.
That problem is called a wife. So.
Oh, yeah. Full admission. These 3 cats came to me from 2 separate girlfriends.
Nice.
And then they left them with you?
Yeah, man. They took the money and the Wii and stuff, but they left the cats.
Well, they took your Wii for you.
Right. No, that's legit.
Hey, there's good stuff on the Wii. You don't want to lose out on that.
It's all been re-released to the Wii U though, and it's fine.
Okay, that works then.
Until the NX comes out.
Yeah. Which apparently is some kind of transforming, folding, multiple-use device thing that looks terrifying.
It's a folding chair. It is a folding chair.
Nice.
The NX is a folding chair.
Yeah.
That's the rumor we got to start now. The NX is a folding chair video game console.
It's actually a folding chair. The Nintendo folding chair.
And then somebody actually comes out with some sort of holster that's a tripod base that they're like, I'm gonna sit on it and see what happens.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Legit.
my god, I can't wait.
And
for
we
that.
get sued.
And then we fail the
These
internet.
guys said it's all right. We're
So how
can
long
see it
have
now.
you guys been a company? Because Kazuo said you two have been together from the beginning. When is the beginning?
Since the dawn of time, we came slipping silently through the centuries. We walk among you. No, I'm just kidding. That's from Highlander. At the beginning of Highlander, remember that when Sean Connery's like, "From the dawn of time, we came slipping silently through the centuries." Do you remember that? All right. Anyway. You guys remember Highlander by Russell McCauley? That's crazy.
I've never seen it.
It had Christopher
Fantastic.
Lambert as this first Swedish-Scottish guy. It had Sean Connery as the first Scottish, Spanish, Egyptian guy. Do you remember that? All right, cool. Anyway,
It's been too long since I've watched that.
we don't you remember the part where he's like the Scottish guy, quote unquote, McLeod, is like you almost tipped me into the river, you filthy haggis, because he has a Swedish accent and not a Scottish accent. And then the Scottish guy, the actual Scottish guy who's pretending to be an Egyptian guy who was a Spanish prince, says, "Haggis? What is haggis?" And then Christopher Lambert from Sweden goes, "It's sheep stomach stuffed with meat and barley, you Spanish peacock." And then the Spanish guy, who's not a Spanish guy, he's actually a Scottish guy pretending to be a Spanish guy, pretending to be an Egyptian, says, "I'm not Spanish, I'm Egyptian." And it's really funny because it's fucking ridiculous. Okay, cool. So moving on.
I'm ready.
I love
We
this
started
episode so
company-
far.
This is great. I love it.
We started Imagos Films, because Kazuo has been with me since Imagos Films, in 2009, but I brought it to Seattle from Chicago. I'm not from Chicago originally. It was just the tax incentives were
Chicago.
great after Batman in Chicago. Chicago. That's the Chicago way. Remember when Sean Connery was a Scottish guy playing an Irish guy in Chicago? Can you remember that? That's the Chicago way. Anyway, okay. So I moved the company from Chicago to Seattle in 2012, and there was no game company yet. 2013, I did a whole bunch of other cool video game spots and stuff. 2014, I shot a feature film. At the end of 2014, we decided we were going to make a video game company. I met up with Kazuo and a bunch of developer people. We made a game company called Imagos Softworks. 2014, end of 2014, we did a Kickstarter in 2015 for Starr Mazer. We raised a half to a third of the cost of Starr Mazer. Then I went to a publisher for the rest. That's the answer to that one, with a lot of Sean Connery mixed in.
We got the full timeline now.
I don't even
Yeah.
remember the question I asked.
Some shit
Something about Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
Tell us about Sean Connery. You grew up with him? Is that what you're saying?
He actually works at the studio.
Question from the audience. What's your name?
My name's Don Thacker. That's
Dan.
D to the O to the N. Last name is Thacker. T as in toy. Hacker. It's like hacker with a T in front of it. It's pretty cool.
Dan.
I'm trying to figure out how to get Kazuo involved here, but I just I don't
He's
know
got
how.
a sexy voice. You should ask him some questions.
Kazuo, do you ever get to talk when Don is around?
Occasionally. I mean, in between breaths.
What?
But he
breaths?
doesn't
45
breathe.
I osmote. I have gills.
No, I mean, Don's always been like the very charismatic leader of Imagos Softworks. Whenever we go to conferences or events like PAX West, he's always yelling until his voice pretty much gives out.
That sounds like a guy who gets paid.
Another
Yeah.
question from the audience. How much
Don
coke
is our
are you on?
charismatic and fearless leader. What's the other question?
How much coke are you on?
I've never done a drug in my entire life. I've never had a drink. No joke.
I kind of
None.
want to see you on cocaine now, and I
None coke. Really?
kind of wonder how that would happen. Like,
I'm
what would
pretty
hap-
sure that he would talk so fast that his lips would catch fire.
His lips
And then
just
I
start
played
bleeding.
Batman in the 80s.
Is that?
That
Oh
was
my God,
made a
man.
Flaming Lips reference, guys. That's
Oh God.
the band. I'm old, I guess.
I don't
It's
know,
okay.
I'm pretty up
I
there.
like old stuff.
I'm pretty up there. You at least have the hair on the top of your head. I don't have that anymore.
Yeah, I intentionally shave a bunch of it off. Look at that.
I can't do that anymore. I got nothing up top. I just got like the old man bald spot going.
Nice.
Joe, it works for you.
No, it doesn't.
It does. It does.
They call it a wisdom spot, Joe.
A wisdom spot.
I made that up. They never called it that.
Listen, Joe, all you have to do is just walk around in a robe all the time, and you'll be fine.
Oh.
Like, people will just assume that you're a wizard.
Or you can captain the Enterprise.
Make it so. Let's make it so.
I would. I totally would.
You gotta learn that dumb little flute, though.
Oh, God.
Gotta go work on a farm.
Oh, my Lord.
Actually, don't learn how to play it. It'd be even better. Just get one.
You have to violate the Prime Directive every second episode. Possible. Become a Borg. Be the worst captain ever.
Oh, my God.
How much TV do you watch?
I don't watch any TV. I all the TV I watch ended in like 1998. I watch reruns. I watch Babylon 5 a lot.
That's a good
that's a name you don't hear
Big
often.
nerd, man. I watch Max
I've actually
Headroom.
seen that, too.
Did you just say Max Headroom?
Yeah, dude, Amanda Palmer's on that business.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
I haven't heard Max Headroom in, God, like 40 years.
40,
I haven't heard Max Headroom for like 40 minutes.
Man, Max Headroom, holy hell.
Yeah, dude.
All the
original
references.
First episode, remember that? It's so good.
I was a wee little lad when Max Headroom was out. Matt Frewer.
Yeah.
How do
He's
I
also
remember
in Star
his
Trek: The Next
fucking
Generation.
name?
Matt Frewer, yeah. He's in a bunch of cool stuff. Good actor. Cool dude, Canadian bro.
I remember him as
if I make
the...
movie references, it's because I'm a filmmaker, remember? So that's why I'm making all the weird film references all the time.
That makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah. So
I literally do. All I do in my entire life is watch movies, play games, make movies, make games. I do nothing else. Like
There's
literally.
nothing wrong with that, though.
It sounds like a good life, man.
Here, check this out. I'm gonna show you guys something. I'll flip the camera around.
I'm ready.
Oh crap! That's my entertainment center.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
It's just
Nice.
games and movies, bro. That's all it is.
A lot
Get
of
a-
systems.
Oh, man, are those the Mega Man arm buster things?
Yeah, I got a Mega Man Buster and I got a helmet. I'm looking to get the Proto Man ones. People
Yeah,
are
but-
like, "Oh my god, how can you afford all that stuff? You must make a lot of money as an indie game developer." And the answer is, no, dude. I just don't go to the fucking bar on Thursday and drop $60 on ethanol.
Yo,
Super
right?
easy.
So I got a question for you then.
Good call.
How much did you like Mighty Number 9?
Listen,
Uh-oh.
I'm not at liberty to say because Manami Matsumae, the composer of that particular game, is one of the composers on Starr Mazer, and I don't want to, muddy the waters.
Yeah, but he didn't make the actual game. He just made the music.
Yes, she did. She made the music for it, but I was just recently in Japan, and there's a lot of honorific stuff going on over there. I don't want to step on anybody's toes and be all like, that game was shit, so I'm not going to say it.
But you won't disagree if we say the game is shit.
I will remain mum, and my silence can be registered as affirmation.
Wow.
I tell you what, the music was incredible.
The music was great.
There you go.
The music was really, really good.
It just okay. God, I don't want to do this. It was the shittest Mega Man.
Oh, man.
It was like Mega Man made by terrible fucking fan artists. It was the worst. I am saddened. I'm brokenhearted.
This is what we strive for.
The
Not the
music was great.
brokenheartedness, but the realism.
I was a big fan of the music part. Remember the music? It's good.
The music is
It was
good.
a good soundtrack. Really good soundtrack.
Yeah.
Sounded nice.
So just remember for the soundtrack. There's certain games that I only remember this for the soundtrack. I hated the fucking game. Pretty fair.
I don't think
nice.
that's ever
I have a
happened.
kitten on my shoulder.
Can I direct you to McDonald's Treasureland Adventure on the Genesis?
Why did you play that?
It's one of my favorite games because of the soundtrack. That's it. Like,
Is that something you got for free with like enough Happy Meals?
No, it's a legitimate game.
Dude, the game is made by Treasure. It is
Treasure
a
made it.
legit fucking platformer.
It's good. It's not a bad game, so to speak, but like you got to be on a lot of drugs for it to make sense.
Like it sounds like Cool Spot. You guys remember Cool Spot?
Hell yeah, man. Virgin
The 7
Software.
game on NES.
I'm telling you, McDonald's Treasureland Adventure is the fucking craziest acid trip of a Genesis game.
I'm not saying I'm going to go get the ROM for that, but I'm probably going to go get the ROM for that.
You probably should. I'm telling you right now, like if you appreciate soundtracks, it is my favorite soundtrack on the Genesis. Like period.
I've never met you before, but I totally believe you.
Like I ended up, so I do some video game remixes once in a while. I plan on doing the entire soundtrack start to finish. I've already done one or two of the tracks. I released one of them so far.
That's legit.
Yeah, like this game, I highly recommend grabbing it and playing through it at least once.
Are you gonna pop a link?
Well, see, I own the actual game, so.
I don't know
I don't know a link to the ROM. I meant a link to your music.
Oh.
Bruh.
There you go, Chris. Drop a link in the chat. And you can tell us where can people find your music, Chris?
Inquiring minds want to listen to this music.
There's technically there's Croth on Facebook. There's a Facebook page there. There's Croth Music on Bandcamp. I don't think the McDonald's Treasureland one is there, but I have it on my Dropbox, so I'll just link it from there.
I only really want the Treasureland Adventure song.
Right.
Fuck the rest of them. The rest sucks.
Epic.
I just released. It just came out today because of the anniversary of the Nintendo 64, which I'm sure we'll toss some songs at the end of the episode.
I was gonna play Starr Mazer songs at the end.
We'll do it.
Yeah, that's better.
Episode.
Do that.
We'll do a mix.
I want a mix.
Here it is.
I want Starr Mazer music, bruh.
Sounds good. Nothing but Starr Mazer.
Nothing but Starr Mazer.
Nothing but Starr Mazer.
Haven't even heard the songs yet.
Starr
Give me the
Mazer
clip.
DSP.
Oh yeah, it's all on SoundCloud. You can get it all for free.
Oh my God, who's that other
Really?
voice?
Free.
There's another person here. Okay, it's in the Beam chat.
Excellent. My producer's actually grabbing that right now from Beam.
It's my personal Dropbox, so it's a long link, but that should be the right one.
Nice.
The podcast has been hacked. Yeah, the mystery voice just popping in out of nowhere. So, shit, we should probably talk about your games, huh?
If you want, I'm open to it.
DSP is the shit.
It is. Holy God, that game is
Is
addictive.
it the shit or is it just shit? Like, I need to know the
It's
truth.
that shit. I like it a lot.
Are we busting out Moogle plushies?
It's a Moog. I bought it. Its name. I won it.
God
Name is
damn it.
Moog.
Hold on.
Oh, God damn it. Joe has one, too.
Yeah, of course. Listen, come on now.
He
You
has
think he
everything.
wouldn't have one?
Wait, he's got one? I
mean,
see
that's-
the Dragon Quest sign back there. That's legit. Oh, yeah! Mine's way bigger than
Yeah,
yours, Joe.
I don't have a
Way
big
bigger.
one, but I have one.
I had a gigantic
Nice.
one. Look at the size of the balls on it, too.
Mine has wings,
Mine's
too.
super bigger than yours, and it's got way bigger balls.
I know.
Just bigger, big red balls on it, and the whole thing is bigger in general.
Mine's the Final Fantasy 14 Moogle.
More hair, way bigger, and bigger balls. Listen, I'm making an allusion to a penis.
I know.
Hair? I feel like people would want less hair.
Exactly.
It's trim. Look, it's maintained.
You want the hairy balls. They're red balls, though. No one likes
Manscaping.
red balls.
Joe's
That's-
looks a little wilder.
Yeah, he just doesn't have the big nose.
It got scruffed up a little.
It's a little cupo, and not as cupo. Were we going to talk about some Starr Mazer or something, guys? Was
Yeah, let's talk about. I want to talk about DSP more because
All right, this is the shit.
it is the shit.
It very much is
so
the shit.
A lot of the indie games that I personally tend to gravitate more towards are the ones that kind of implement a little bit of the rogue-like-esque type of thing into it.
Sure.
And I haven't been a huge fan of bullet hells, but recently, because we've been reviewing a few more here and there, and I've been playing a few more of them, I found myself liking them a lot more. And the combination that you guys have between the two, I think it marries itself really well, especially because of the procedurally generated like pilots with the packs. Like, I think that's a cool idea. But it does make it to the point where you're not struggling that hard, because all you really need is just like one good drop and you can make it through. When I played through it a week ago or 2 weeks ago that you sent me the link, Joe, for or the code for it.
Yeah.
I think the first 2 levels were available. You said there's 3 now?
Yeah, there are 3, and we have actually a very well fleshed out level 4 as of like hours ago.
Oh,
so make sure you update in Steam.
I will.
It's a much better game than the 2-level version.
Oh yeah,
well, that's
it's got
the thing.
tons of new features.
I ran through those first 2 levels, and man, I just absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it.
That's really cool. Is it? It's totally out of place socially if I like call you out on being stupid wrong about something after you told me how cool my game is, right? Like I'm not supposed to.
Please do.
Yeah.
It is a traditional style horizontal scrolling shooter. It is not a bullet hell game at all. Bullet hell is a different genre of shoot 'em up game. Ours is like, not that. Ours is a traditional horizontal scrolling shooter.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like I don't play a ton of them, so it's for me it seems bullet helly because I'm not used to a ton of shit coming at me at the same time.
At least it didn't feel tiger helly. That was a shmup joke. Oh man. Okay, so the thing is in shmup circles, there is a giant distinction between a traditional shoot 'em up and a bullet hell shoot 'em up, and that distinction, though to the layman or the average player is invisible, it's incredibly important to shmup players. And I just wanted to be clear to any listeners that it is a traditional style horizontal scrolling shooter and not, in fact, a bullet hell shooter, which is they're different skill sets, different audiences, different everything. So to you, it's no big deal. To me, I don't really care either, but I found that the minute somebody calls it a bullet hell in front of somebody else and they're like part of the shmup community, they freak out. It's a big thing. So that said, we did change up the formula a whole bunch by making it, as you said, a roguelike, or as we like to call it, a rogue-lite, because it's a shmup. I mean, Rogue was a tile-based, turn-based dungeon crawling game, so you can only get so rogue-like with a horizontal scrolling shooter. But yeah, we have a bunch of we have permadeath in all the pilots, and all of your pilots are procedurally generated. Our enemy patterns are procedurally generated. The levels themselves are procedurally chunked. We have a day-night cycle that's procedural. We have all kinds of cool stuff that's all procedural. Games almost never the same. The first level is always going to be crushing through a burning city and flying up through the stratosphere, and the second level is always going to be a giant asteroid field that ends in a battle with asteroid chucking giant robots and stuff. But the feel of those levels is going to be different every time you play it. So that's pretty cool. It doesn't give you shooter fatigue, right? Which is a big concern. And also, our skill metric is based on your actual ability and not your ability to memorize some patterns or something.
Which is good. It's pattern memorization could definitely wear you down when you're playing shooters.
Yeah, shmup fatigue is a real thing. I for 2 reasons. Number one, the cost of entry, the barrier of entry for playing something like Ikaruga or something, which is itself a bullet hell. That you look at people play that, and there are 2 classes of people. There's the guy who's gonna spend 18 months memorizing every single bullet pattern in that game, and then the other guy who's gonna watch that guy and be like, dude, I could never do that. And unfortunately, those are two sides of the bell curve. Those are 2 very explicit groups of people, and I wanted to hit the middle of the bell curve. I wanted to hit people who wanted to play a game and die a bunch and feel good about dying and skill up and get better and make their friends check out their cool their recordings and see so I made a pretty game that sounds good, that's easy to get into and super hard to master.
Speaking of accessibility is probably the biggest differential between, I guess, a bullet hell and a shoot 'em up.
Yeah, agreed. So the opposite side that I was talking about, I said there's 2 sides, right? There's the bullet hell side, which is all about memorization or whatever, and then there's the traditional horizontal scrolling shooter thing, something like a Gate of Thunder or an R-Type or something, where once you play through that game 2 or 3 hours, you're good. You can kind of make it through every single one of those levels by if you hold a direction on your controller when the music starts, you can kind of tear through that level based on where you are in the music, right? Because it's so expectable.
Yeah,
the levels never change, and it's always the same. So my favorite horizontal scrolling shooter is Lords of Thunder, but I've been playing that game since I was 11. So it's never new. It's never fresh. I only ever play it when I want to show somebody else because it's a really cool game that sounds really good and still holds up these days. But I never play it alone because it's kind of boring. I do, however, play Starr Mazer DSP, which I've got like hundreds of hours logged into because it's different all the time, even though it's my game and I designed the game loop and everything.
You mentioned the sound. I do want to take a moment and just applaud the voice acting you have in the game.
Oh, thank you.
Because it might have some of the most ridiculous voice acting I've heard in a game.
That's awesome. Yeah, so we have 41 or 42 different voice actors. We currently, in the early access build, that was 41 actors collude to create 66 different character voices, which amount to 7,500 voice lines of dialogue in the game. That's not including Cat Admiral, who's an admiral and he's also a cat.
Do you need more voice actors? Because I would love to be a stupid voice in your game.
We want to get 250 voice characters in there.
Jesus.
By the end of the launch.
I'm so down.
If you played the game, guys, you know those voice actors. It's very important. I have in the current early access build, we have probably 30% of the amount of talking that's going to be happening in the game. I just love the constant chatter and like Cat Admiral saying stuff and people dodging stuff and going, "Woo, close one!" and like. I love that sort of interaction, and since I'm a film director, I got all these kind of cool actors and stuff that I can hire. Lucky for me, 80% of the voice actors in the current build are game developers. They're actually really awesome game developers from the Seattle area.
Anyone you might know?
I'm 7 of the voices in the game myself. Kazuo is in the game as unlockable character, as am I. Vanessa Williams, the lead writer for Starr Mazer, she's one of the unlockable characters. Lindsay Peck, the producer from Starr Mazer and Starr Mazer DSP, is one of the voices. So it's all cool.
From chat, a question. First off, is there any chance of this coming to console?
There is a so listen. Starr Mazer itself has already been accepted onto consoles. So we already have deals in place with Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo. We also have access to the Nintendo 3DS for Starr Mazer. So Starr Mazer as a property is already going to console. That's great.
Nice.
Starr Mazer DSP, not yet, but, and this is the important part, if we can sell enough early access copies, we can make a compelling case to our console partners that it's a worthwhile game. When we originally started making the game, it was going to be sort of a much smaller scope kind of mobile endeavor. But it turns out it's a really good game that we just kept pushing on. So it is console ready. I mean, if you guys, those of you who played it, you could see that being played on a console, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's a legit game for consoles. So what we need to do is sell enough of it to justify our costs and get our console partners on board to make the case that we can sell a thing on console. I know people don't really who aren't in the industry don't really know this, but console manufacturers don't just like take your game. There's a whole big process. They have to know that the work they're going to put in to getting your game onto their console, certifying the game, even though you pay them for certification, all the work they're going to have to put in for certifying the game, getting the game onto the console itself, advertising the game, putting the game on a slot, maintaining things, doing all of the support and all that. They have to make sure that's going to pay off for them. So they have to make sure the game's going to sell something, right? Because they take a percentage of it. So we need to make a compelling case to them that we've got a good game. They are all behind Starr Mazer right now, but Starr Mazer DSP is always sort of this like ugly, redheaded, under-the-stairs stepchild to them. We need to show them that it's the hot girl going to the prom with 16 dates and a helicopter.
See, I think DSP would be such a cooler prospect for console because of the possibility of unlockable pilots. Like you could have Phil Spencer or Major Nelson as unlockable pilots in the PlayStation version.
That would be incredible.
PlayStation version.
For that, the Microsoft version, Xbox version.
I'm drunk.
Major Nelson is not on PlayStation.
I know. That's a legitimate slip of the tongue.
To mess up, Joe.
I know. Given my overall quote unquote love for PlayStation.
You're wearing overalls right now, bro?
Sadly,
I thought those went out.
I wish I had overalls.
Osh, but Joe.
Osh,
Sorry, that was kind of dumb, guys.
No. Well, yeah, it was, but it was amazing. And then another question: do you have Bob Baffy doing voice work on the game?
No.
You need to get Bob Baffy to do a voice in the game.
You need Bob Baffy.
I would love to get his contact information. We'll make it happen.
No, I will definitely get it to you.
Get it to Kazuo. We'll do a thing.
because Bob has been on our show a number of times and great composer, and I know he does some voice work as well. And I think his voice, he's the announcer for iDarb.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So I think it'd be fun to get him in there.
Good.
Yeah, just send it my way. We'll make it happen.
We'll do. We'll definitely. Just some of the freaking pilots in this game. Holy shit! Like
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Like the idiot version of Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
I came to chew ass and kick bubble gum and I don't know. And then I don't know what the hell it was. I swear to God, the one that I had was just like random screaming.
Yeah, that's a guy. We have a guy who just screams a bunch.
Like I don't know if there were any words there at all. It was just
So we have 2 aliens in the game. One of them speaks a whole language that I wrote. That's an actual language. And one of them speaks like full sentences in the language. The other one also speaks full sentences in a language, but his language is screaming and gurgling.
And then No Pulse, one of our guys in the Beam chat, just bought DSP.
Nice.
So
Thank you.
he wanted us to let you know.
Thank you very much, No Pulse. You're the best.
And
Thank you, No Pulse.
He was the one asking about the console version because he's an Xbox fan, just like the rest of us on the show.
Right. Nice.
Yeah.
So
I am as well. Hey guys, can I talk about the Xbox for a second?
Yes.
So actually, let me show you a thing. Hold on, I gotta get up to get something. This is a point of rage for me. Okay, hold on 1 second. I gotta get a thing. No.
It's gonna be a broken controller. I know it.
It's going to be a broken
left bumper.
What is it?
Or right stick.
Oh, is it the Elite controller?
Yeah, I was going to
All
say.
right, so listen, guys.
Elite controllers.
This right here. This is Gungnir, the dire maul of Anacreon. This is my Kingslayer. This is my beautiful weapon of war. This is Gungnir, my Xbox One Elite controller. You'll notice I'm riding low hat on the lookie, high hat on the low hat on the street, high on the lookie. I got the D-pad going. I got my fins mapped to stick, click, and shoulder buttons. This is my baby right here. I love this more than anything in the whole world, except for one thing.
Thumbstick.
I love Gears of War more than anything in the whole world, and that's the worst because if you open up your Xbox homepage right now, if you open up your Xbox One, you'll notice they're advertising something right now. I'm a jerk. I'm an asshole idiot who bought this dumb, stupid piece of shit the day it came out. And what do I have before me? A Gears of War style fucking Xbox One Elite controller. This, I want to throw it out the fucking window at a hobo. I want that thing. I want that thing more than anything. I have no idea why I was rooked so hard into wasting $100 and whatever on this beast. When they could have just said, just so you know, 6 months from now, Gears 4, it's going to be awesome. You should have it. Because, guys, I played Gears like 37,000 times. I am the hugest Gears fan ever. I got the guys from the Coalition. They're big Starr Mazer fans. They sent me T-shirts and all kinds of paraphernalia and stuff.
That's awesome.
I contacted them. It's great things. I am so into Gears 4. I cried. I watched the Gears 4 trailer like it was a fucking movie. I had popcorn and everything, and I cried like a little bitch when he rolls over the tree and you see the JD plus fucking Marcus. I was the worst. I am so obsessed. However, I feel rooked. I feel taken advantage of because I spent the money on this beast, and I have loved this thing more. Nobody's allowed to touch this. I'm the only one who can touch this controller.
I'm the same way.
It's the best. This thing, it feels like a Ferrari. I do half pull on my trigger finger, but full pull on my aiming finger. Oh, so good. Oh, I love it. But you know what I love more? The Gears of War 4 edition, and it hurts my soul to its very nubby, angry Viking core that I can't have it. Because I'm a broke independent game developer.
I mean, you can have it, technically. Just,
there's a controller.
Murder someone and take their money.
There's a controller. I actually covered it on a previous episode. I'm looking at it right now because it's sitting next to me on my desk. That Aftermarket, of all companies, released. That underneath it has these 2 little scroll wheelie kind of extra buttons that function similarly to how the Elite ones do. That you can remap and do whatever the hell you want with.
Yeah.
It's wired, so that's like kind of a problem for other people, but I use it for my computer and sometimes my Xbox One. It's like $50.
Oh, wow.
It's incredible.
Question. I need to ask you a direct question.
I'm ready.
Have you used one of these before?
Yeah, I have one.
Yeah, you have an Elite.
Yeah.
Would you compare this thing you're telling me to this?
Yeah. I used it because here, check it out. I used it because
Is it heavy like the weight of your dick? Because this is heavy, like the weight of my dick.
It is. All right, so the aftermarket one or the Afterglow one is obviously a little bit lighter, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. For a $50 instead of spending $150
Is it officially Gears of War Coalition branded?
It is not. It's not.
I don't know, man. Tough sell, bro.
But if you're looking for a cheap alternative,
Listen, I don't want a cheap alternative, bro. I got like 16 Xbox One controllers. I got the Titanfall Xbox One controller. I have a day one. You bought the console like an idiot on the first day controller. I got an extra one. I got color wood coming in the mail.
Just like Joe.
Branded Gears of War 4 Xbox. Listen, this is what we're gonna do on the show. Giveaway right now. We're gonna do an exclusive giveaway.
I'll enter.
Listen to me. Whoever can get me pre-order for me the Gears of War 4, I will give them this controller, a copy of Starr Mazer DSP, and I'll like lick this controller or something.
I'll do something. Nobody wants that
controller. You can have it. But I need that. Oh, I need the Gears controller so bad right now.
Do they have to buy you the controller or just get you a pre-order?
Wait, what?
Do they have to buy you the controller or just get you a pre-order?
They have to buy me the controller, bro. I don't have any money. I'm making a video game. You know how much money that costs? It costs all the money. If you have $12,000, it costs $13,000 to make a game. If you have $150,000, it costs $180,000 to make a game. It's just impossible. It's the worst.
Oh man, yeah. That Gears one looks so sexy.
Doesn't it?
I hate the fact that it's $199.
It's got blood fingertips though, dude. I don't care how much it costs. Blood fingertips.
I will say that if for some reason Best Buy actually carries it, I will return my Elite controller that I have the 2-year warranty on and drop another $50 to get the Gears one.
Yeah, it's so good looking. It is so good looking. I opened up. I preloaded Gears obviously because that's my whole life. I preloaded Gears and I opened up the Xbox One to just go check on the preload because I'm fucking nerd, right? So I open it up and I'm gonna go check. Can I pin it to my homepage like all the other Gears games? Even Judgment? Yeah, I can.
Hey, I like Judgment. I like Judgment.
What? Yeah, well, I haven't played Judgment with another person yet. I imagine it will be incredible with another human.
Let's swap gamer tags. I'll play it with you.
Let's do it. Let's do it for reals. Mine's Skinny Tie. That's SKINNYTIE, like the kind of tie you wear in the 80s.
What the fuck? I couldn't hear anything you said there. It was so quick.
I said it's Skinny Tie. It's SKINNYTIE, like the kind of tie you wear in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
Skinny Tie. It's my gamer tag. Anyway,
I'm
that said.
adding you right now.
Wait, what?
I'm adding you right now.
Nice, do it.
Yay. New Xbox friends.
Yeah, cool. I like it. And anybody else in chat wants to be my friend on Xbox, do it. Especially if you're going to be buying me that controller. That's legit. So I open up the homepage, and what do I see? I see Gears 4 preload. Already did it. You don't need to advertise it to me. And then I see fucking this Pro controller. It's all in 3D, and it's spinning, and I click the button, and there's what is effectively like 18 naked women all writhing together, but it's really just a controller. It's all, oh, man. I don't even know.
Oh, my Lord.
Brain's all broken.
This is great. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan.
This show's been amazing, and I don't think we accomplished it. This is like a Loot Interactive show.
It's the best. Dude, these are
go to StarRmazer.com. It's StarRmazer.com. Yes, that's 2 R's. It's twice as many R's as any other Star game. Go check it out, and the rest we'll just talk. We'll bullshit. Just go to StarRmazer.com. See what's up.
Easy.
Oh, my Lord.
The rest we can just talk about cool stuff like Sean Connery and how I swear I might actually find and murder a hobo if I don't get that Xbox One controller.
That game will never come out then.
I'm just kidding. I won't ever do anything like that. That was a joke. It was a terrible joke, an insensitive joke, and I apologize. Sometimes we have to understand that humor is an art form, and art needs to be edgy to be relevant. There you go.
Truth.
That's so
the more you know.
Like the Starr thing.
With 2 R's.
2 R's.
2 R's. God damn it.
We all went for it. Fuck.
Horrible minds think alike, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, man. So, what about you, Kazuo? What are you playing? He's gone. He's not even paying attention to the show anymore.
Oh, I'm here. These days, I've just been playing a lot of Starr Mazer DSP, trying to catch all the bugs before they come out in releases. Also testing out some of the new features that we're implementing.
Tell us about the new features. Let's get you involved in this.
All right, so check this out. Starting tomorrow until October 7th, we're going to be running a special score attack competition in Starr Mazer DSP. Anybody who boots up the game through Steam, types in a special code that's going to be released tomorrow, can enter a very special score attack mode in which their scores will be entered automatically into a Steam leaderboard. On October 7th at 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, during our live stream, we're going to take off the top #1 player. We're going to send that person a shirt, as well as let them put in some custom names into the Starr Mazer DSP name pool.
That is awesome.
Wow.
So yeah, if you want Joe, Chris, and CJ in there, you guys got to win first place, and then you can get your name in Starr Mazer DSP.
Joe, do it for us.
I'm not that good at the game.
But the
I
pilot
suck.
names in Starr Mazer
I'm gonna
DSP
do
are
it.
like super
I'll
wonky.
absolutely do it.
Do it.
Do it.
I'm
Everyone
excited.
do it. Everyone. But how much is the game right now, anyways?
$10.
The game
$9.99.
$10.
So everyone listening right now, drop $10. Starr Mazer DSP on Steam, early access. Play it, get the game, enjoy it, enter the contest, and get our names in the game.
Also, keep in mind, guys, you can get the game for $0. Yes, that's right, $0. If you buy me that fucking controller, I'll just
What are you gonna say? I don't have $10. What is
So
it?
it'll only cost you $200 plus tax and shipping.
Technically, it's
And-
like $189 plus tax and shipping because I'm giving you a $10 game. That's a savings.
And didn't you say you're going to give the controller anyway? That other one?
And you get another Elite.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you get an Elite in trade, and I've licked it or something untoward. I've laid my dick next to it on a pillow.
Think of
Taking
how
a
much
pic-
semen will be on that controller.
No.
None, that's mine. Those are my kids, man.
Hey, remember that Elite controller that you sent me? Well, I actually used it to artificially inseminate my wife. So,
Congratulations, Dad.
father.
Pay me child support.
This is a bit much.
Pay
I
child
believe there
support
may
and
have been
Starr
a line
Mazer.
at some point, and we have Trapes right across it.
Nah.
Nah.
We've done way worse on this show.
Good. That makes me happy.
Way
The
worse.
last
my
episode
God.
was way worse.
I already don't remember what we did last episode.
It's always funny when you can just be like, oh man, you crossed the line. It's like, no, you didn't hear last episode.
yeah,
last
right.
episode was Tiny, or not Tiny Build.
Loot Interactive. Yeah, No Pulse was saying that we need to get Don back on with the guys from Loot Interactive, and I'll just hit record and do an introduction and then not say anything
And then just
else.
not say anything, yeah.
I'd love it. Let's do it. I want to do it 100%.
Sounds
I'm
good.
in.
We will have to make it happen.
I have a show fee of one Gears of War branded Xbox Pro. That's my rider.
Good luck.
Take out all the brown M&Ms and make sure
Yeah.
that sitting in a bowl.
Yeah,
And
on top of
that-
nothing but blue M&Ms.
On top of that, it's nothing but multiple Gears of War Elite controllers.
I only need the one, dude. I'll hand the other ones out. I only need the one, but I need it.
That is a sexy controller.
It is.
I don't want to like hold my video game ransom or whatever, but if you're interested in Starr Mazer ever coming out,
If you get him the Gears of War Elite controller, he will release the game on Xbox One.
yep,
There it is.
there it is.
That was verbal confirmation.
Controller.
I mean, Starr Mazer's already slated for Xbox One anyway.
DSP.
So it will.
How
Oh man, I can't
about,
assure you that. I can only assure you DSP getting launched on Xbox One if we sell enough pre-order, sell enough EA that I can show people and be like, hey guys, look, this game's selling like hot cakes or hot potatoes or hot potato cakes or something.
And a Gears Elite controller.
Now,
And a Gears Elite controller.
how difficult would it be, theoretically, if you wanted to include someone like a Marcus Phoenix as a pilot?
It would be our system is set so programmatically trivial. We'd have to do the art for it, but I would, man, if we had an official, if that was a thing, I would do it all day. You have no idea, man. Gears of War brought me back into modern gaming. I had given up entirely the idea of consoles being legitimate gaming platforms at all. I was PC Master Race only, and even then, I was only playing like Unreal Tournament Black and like everything else fuck itself.
That is a good one.
It was Gears of War 1 on the Xbox 360 on a 52-inch rear projected television that showed me the light. It brought me back into the Starr Mazer would not exist, I swear, up and down. I would not have been interested in game development if it were not for sometime in early 2006 or whatever it was, playing Gears of War on a 52-inch television on an Xbox 360. If that moment didn't happen, we would not be having this conversation right now. I owe it all to Gears. So that's not to say it's my favorite game or whatever. I mean, it is my favorite game, but I don't want to say like that's the only game I play or that that's all I'm into. I'm just saying it is like a landmark moment for me. So like me, guys, I just need to point out how important it is that I have this Gears of War 4 Xbox 4 Elite controller while developing Starr Mazer. The circle must be complete.
Nikki Baby in chat is asking if you're getting the Gears 4 Xbox One S console.
Listen, I would love it. Yes, I want it. I super want it. I can afford to pay my team, and that's it. So if getting the controller is hard, I can imagine getting the console is difficult as well. Those two things are like, okay, when you start becoming a maker, I'm going to get a little like real talk, serious honesty hour for a second.
Let's do it.
When you start becoming a maker, when you start creating things for a living, and for a very poor living, you realize the value or lack thereof of like material objects, right? So like, yeah, I really wanted this thing last year, but now I can spend that money like getting a contract guy to do a new song for my game. Or like you just start dumping everything into the development of your game because you watch somebody play that game and their lives change and their eyes light up and you're like, holy shit, I'm doing good. And like owning a thing is not as cool as delivering that kind of feeling or that kind of moment to somebody, that sort of entertainment to somebody. You come to this point where you recognize that there's something bigger than owning a bunch of shit. The only things that I own, if you walk around my apartment, is video games and video game related paraphernalia and like the stuff to play a movie. The computer I got is an editing machine that I do code on. The laptop I'm talking to you on, I got specifically so I could do work on the road. It's literally, that's all I really own. And normally, I don't look at like a material object and go, I need that. If I could live without that material object and instead get more work done or make more things to change people's lives or affect people's lives, I'd rather do that. Except
for this Gears controller.
Yeah, the Gears controller and the Gears console. Man, I would take it all day long. I need that thing. That would be my own personal thing. I would love that thing.
No Pulse with another question.
I will answer in 1 second. 1 second. Just want to point out, this thing, it took me months to save up for this thing, and I had to be convinced by multiple friends that I was worth buying this instead of spending that money on a game. And that was my personal money I saved up. It wasn't like game money or income from a game or whatever. It was literally like the stuff I had, the stuff I was selling and all that. So even getting this was like a month-long process for me. Go on. Question. I'm going to answer the question.
No Pulse asks, wait, can we get a character in DSP as well as our voice for the controller?
Yes.
There you go.
Oh, that's tempting.
Yes. That's a thing. That's a worth it moment. I would do that.
That's tempting.
There you go. Who knows? Maybe No Pulse will end up getting you the controller.
Okay,
so
check it.
To be in the game.
This in the game for the controller. And if you want a legendary character, an unlockable gold level legendary character, I need that S. Change my life, guys.
Now you're getting greedy.
I'm not getting greedy. I'm getting enterprising.
Oh, yeah, that works.
Being realistic.
Oh, my God. Well, I think we've been chatting with you for about an hour now.
Hour and 4 minutes, 21 seconds.
Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about before we wrap this up?
I don't know. I mean, I'm glad that you have a chat. I wonder if they have any cool questions. You can email me directly if you want at don@imagossoftworks.com. That's IMAGOSSOFTWORKS.com, Imagos Softworks. You can email Kazuo at Kazuo, that's KAZUO, at imagossoftworks.com. You can check us out on Starr Mazer, that's STARRMAZER. As I said before, twice as many R's as any other Star game. You can check that out on Twitter, Starr Mazer. We have a Vine account, Starr Mazer. We have an Instagram account, Starr Mazer, same thing. It's really cool.
Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud.
There's that weird voice again.
It's a thing.
Friendster.
Yeah, no Friendster.
No Friendster.
MySpace.
We also have, guys, a
Grindr.
show 3 or 2 times a week, Starr Mazer TV, starmazer.tv. It's a Twitch streaming show on Tuesdays and Fridays. Check it out. It's going to be some cool business.
Tell us about that show.
Kazuo, hit it.
I would check a cricket.
So,
Now
sorry.
it's time for all good.
I was trying to unmute myself.
This
So
was
Starmazer TV
your
is
moment, damn it.
All right. I'm here. So Starmazer TV is a bi-weekly show that we run. It's often development streams where we're showing off some of the latest builds, some of the latest news going on about the game. But on Fridays, we'll oftentimes also have guests. Like tomorrow, we'll actually be having Andy Dopieralski, the voice of Cat Admiral, join us in the studio to launch the score attack mode for everybody to start entering.
Nice. That sounds awesome. And where can they find you for this?
StarMazer.tv or twitch.tv/StarMazer.
And if you're hanging out in the chat, No Pulse is on the ball with the Twitch
He
link.
is on the ball.
No, Pulse, you are the best. You want to come be a moderator for us? We need a moderator.
We always need moderators.
And then what time is it? What time's that
It
going
starts
on?
at 3 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time.
Nice. I like how you're actually doing it correctly with daylight time instead of everyone's like, oh, EST. It's like it's not standard time anymore. It's
Yeah, so
daylight
listen,
time.
interesting note, guys. I actually called Kazuo out on that. I was like, don't fucking say fucking daylight, bro, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, oh, okay, well, thanks, boss man. And he comes back the next day, he's like, dude, it is daylight time. You're an ass. And I'm like, oh, shit, I'm an asshole. Oh, God.
We're all learning all the time.
Yeah.
That's what this show is
Yeah.
for, learning, I
Right.
think, somehow.
Quote unquote learning.
Yeah.
Again, the more you know.
Oh, my God. This chat was fucking insane. We need to get you guys back on.
Yes.
I'd
Cat-
love to be back on, guys. Legit style. For reals.
If we get you both back on, Kaz will have to find a way to get you to talk on an episode.
Oh, yeah. No problem, man. I mean, I talk more on email and on Twitter.
Don't we all anymore? Don't we all?
I talk a lot with my voice, guys.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I do too. I'm normally
A
right
lot
there.
of chitting and chatting and stuff.
And Elite
like it.
controllers, Gears Elite controllers.
Hey, guys, listen. You want to be in the game?
Did you pick up Horizon at all or no?
No.
I would. It's good.
Oh my God,
Really
it's
good.
so good.
Forza. Okay.
I'm normally
because I
not a
spent
racing
I spent my
dude.
monthly game money on getting a pre-order copy of Gears. I need
Gears.
that Gears business.
But if somebody gets you it,
Then they
Right.
can also be in the game.
I didn't say that. Not for Horizon.
Not good enough.
Oh my
it's
God.
definitely something worth checking out. Though I'm not a huge
Sure.
racing guy, but it's good. It's awesome.
It looks good for sure visually.
Yeah, it's insane.
It looks insane on the PC.
Nice.
Insane.
I'd
All right,
be-
guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Well, thank
Yeah,
thank you so much to the both of you for coming on and chatting with us. One last time, give us all your plugs.
Kazuo, hit it, bruh.
All right, so I'm Kazuo Mayeda, the community manager for Starr Mazer and Starr Mazer DSP. Don Thacker is the creator and owner of Imagos Softworks and the director of Starr Mazer and Starr Mazer DSP. We are creating 2 games, Starr Mazer, which is coming out in 2017, which is a point-and-click adventure, combined with shmup elements. Very awesome. We also have Starr Mazer DSP, which is currently out on Steam Early Access. You can buy it for $10 right now. It is a shmup, rogue-lite, 9-level arcade-like game. Super fun. And tomorrow, from September 30th to October 7th, we are running a shoot 'em up score tag competition where the number one player picked on October 7th at 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time will have a first, middle, and last name entered into the Starr Mazer DSP name pool, as well as a official Starr Mazer shirt from Fangamer mailed to them. You can also find us on Twitter at Starr Mazer, that's Starr Mazer with 2 R's, twice as many R's as any other Star-related game, on Facebook, on Vine, on YouTube, on SoundCloud, you can message us for any of your Starr Mazer-related needs.
Sounds good.
And you do need Starr Mazers.
You really do.
You do.
Especially for only $10.
You really do need Starr Mazer DSP. Highly recommend it. Go check it out.
Interesting note on the early access for Starr Mazer DSP. If you get Starr Mazer DSP right now during the early access period, we're going to have contests like this the entire early access period. So you can be winning stuff in-game, and then even toward the end, we're going to be doing more material giveaways. Every week or so, we're going to be having these contests. And the only way to get into these contests is to get the game in early access. So if you get the game at retail, you're kind of getting shafted a little because you're going to pay the same $10 but not get as much cool stuff.
And is the price going to go up when it's out of early access?
$10, $9.99 only.
Nice.
It'll only ever go down for like sales or whatever.
Sounds good. Sounds really goddamn good.
That's like 1 1/2 cup of coffee.
It's
where do you get coffee?
It's like a 20th.
I'm in Seattle, so it's
Yeah.
It's like a 20th of a Gears controller.
It's 1/20th of a Gears controller. Yeah, exactly right. Guys, I need you guys to buy at least 21 copies right now.
Well, you got one.
I'm just kidding. Truth is, I lose a bunch of that to Steam. I lose a bunch of that to the publisher.
So you'd probably need like 200.
If you buy one copy, I get like 38 cents.
Wow.
And now, is that you, or do you have to split that 38 cents among everyone else?
I gotta pay people with that 38 cents. So it's the worst.
Damn.
I didn't get into games for money, man. I got into games for changing lives.
You got into games for a Gears of War controller.
If that happens, that's my life changing, right?
And then No Pulse is asking if you guys are on Twitter as well.
1, which was the Gears controller, to DEFCON 2, which is the Gears controller plus that Gears S.
Yeah.
And then No Pulse is asking if you guys are on Twitter besides the Starr Mazer account.
My personal Twitter account is Skinny Tie. That's SKINNYTIE. Skinny Tie.
And you can find me at Kazuo Mayeda, which is just boring. It's just my name.
Nice.
It's a cool Japanese name, though. That's not super boring.
It is.
Like, Joe Smith would be a boring name. Kazuo Maeda is awesome.
Can you imagine if my last name was Smith and I could just be, like, so offended right now? But instead, my last name is Kamisa, so I have a fucking weird last name.
That's a cool-ass last name, Kamisa.
Yeah.
Well, mine's like Uber with an H.
Yeah.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was just Huber.
Yeah, it's Uber with an H.
Chris Uber. Hey, Uber, are you working tonight?
Oh, okay, Steve.
Steve.
This is my old boss, actually.
Yeah, his old boss used to just call him Uber instead of Huber.
Which is But thanks for stopping by, guys. I really appreciate it. We had a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for joining. Do you have any final words to end your segment?
Remember, guys, out here in Seattle, there's a guy trying to change lives, do great things for people, make people smile. And you can make him smile if you hooked him up with one of those kids.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you very much for having us.
Take it easy.
That was wonderful.
Oh, my Lord.
He is crazy, but awesome.
Yeah, we need to get them on again.
That was certifiably insane.
Yep. Loved it.
Oh, my God. That was so good.
So,
so now we have an episode to do.
News? Yeah. Hit news?
Yeah, we'll do some quick news. I know we have a handful of reviews to tackle as well. So let us start off. Clearly, the massive news of the week is that they announced some new backward compatibility titles over the past week. They announced one last Thursday, 4 this past Tuesday, and then 3 more today on Thursday.
Oh,
and there's some heavy hitters, like legitimate heavy hitters.
I think Thursday, I heard about one.
Last Thursday, they released Call of Duty 3.
Tree.
Yes.
Yeah, that one that doesn't matter.
And then this past Tuesday, Call of Duty World at War. So
There
like
we go.
First one with zombies, right?
Activision is actually like starting to get involved with backward compatibility stuff here.
That could be a good sign for a game with gold in the future, possibly.
Maybe.
For their first. They still haven't done it.
It seems that PlayStation is getting like the exclusive content for a month ahead of time, but Xbox is getting the older games. So rock on. Also on Tuesday, they gave us 3 other games, not as big, but Funtown Mahjong, Encleverment Experiment, and E4 Every Extend Extra Extreme. Which surprisingly, those 5 games, I don't own any of them.
I'm shocked.
I was too. Like, I was legitimately shocked. I checked my ready to install section. I'm like, really? None of them? I thought I at least had E4.
I like how it's at a certain point you don't remember. It's just like, did I ever even own this game? Maybe.
I legitimately could have sworn that I had E4, but I think I had it on the PSP.
You strike me more as a Mahjong guy.
And then today, they released Guwange, whatever. It's a bullet hell style game. Toy Story 3.
What?
You could laugh. That was a legitimately good game.
Yeah, I know a lot of
is it
people
like a
really
platformer or like what is it?
It's like the story mode is like a normal, like kids action platformer adventure kind of game, but they have like a sandbox mode which is like kids GTA.
What?
Wow, I've never actually played it.
It's legit. I'm not lying. Toy Story 3 is a legitimately good game.
Really?
Yeah. Nopal says that Toy Story came out when CJ was 2.
I mean, did it? Was it 16 years ago? I don't know. I mean, maybe.
And then,
I don't know when it came out.
And then quite possibly the biggest backward compatibility addition to date, and I mean that literally the largest, at a whopping 22.5 gig.
Holy crap.
All 4 discs of Lost Odyssey.
Whoa.
How does that work? Do you just put one disc in and then it downloads the whole game, or do you actually have to put it?
You pop. I popped disc 1 in and it downloaded all 22.5 gig. So this is a huge one for sure. This was one of the big ones that everybody was hoping for. It's one of the greatest RPGs of last generation. Many people still call it one of the best Final Fantasies in years, even though it's not a Final Fantasy game. And this shows that they have multi-disc games legitimately working, because before this it was basically just like Deus Ex Director's Cut, and it's like, oh well, they just incorporated the DLC. This is a legit 4-disc game.
Oh, that excites me for hopefully Mass Effect 2 or 3.
Yeah, if EA gets on board.
Oh, EA has been on
you know
board
how
for a
well
lot
they're
of
doing
backwards.
on that Skate 3 one. God damn
Yeah, but
it.
they've done a lot of other backwards compatible games. I'm sure they'll
They have
put some more out.
They have. It's all about making it work. They've confirmed Skate 3's being worked on, but a lot of people are
fast enough.
A lot of people are excited about Lost Odyssey, and I am included. If you've never played Lost Odyssey before, apparently GameStop has it for like $10 right now. Get it before they jack the price up.
Oh, because you know they will.
Oh, goddamn
It'll
right they will.
probably be up by tomorrow.
Don't they only up the prices on Wednesdays? Something like that?
Fridays.
I thought it was Wednesdays.
Fridays. Wednesdays and Fridays, I believe.
Yeah.
Like Fridays is when they do their markdowns, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. But yeah, big week of backward compatible stuff for sure.
It's been a nice week.
It's been a great week.
And actually good Call of Duty's on the list. Like World at War was a good campaign. I really enjoyed that one.
But yeah, let's see. What other news? PlayStation Plus lineup for October has been announced. The PS3 is getting Mad Riders, which is an ATV racing game. They're getting From Dust, which is like a strategy, adventure, God Sim style thing. So, decent games. The Vita is getting Code Realize Guardian of Rebirth, which is like a visual novel. And then a game called Actual Sunlight, which is like an adventure story-driven game. It looks like a pixel-style JRPG, but it's not. So, like,
Interesting.
if you look at screenshots, you're probably not going to get what you expect.
Make any sense?
Yeah. And then PS4 is a pretty solid lineup. For Halloween, Resident Evil HD.
All right. There you go.
And then Transformers Devastation.
Nice. That's a good one.
So
All right, so the PlayStation 4 lineup's all right, but the others are kind of like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
They didn't make it worth the $60 now that they jacked up the price. I'll tell you that.
I think Transformers Devastation is a nice addition.
They're probably going to be like, but Resident Evil, though.
But it's still like a 20-year-old game.
And a $20
doesn't matter.
game. I don't know.
That's enough for them.
As we all know, Forza Horizon 3 came out, and they have announced that there is an expansion pass available to buy, which will give people access to 2 content updates. If you remember Forza Horizon 2, it had 2 content updates. The one was the Porsche pack, and then Storm Island. So I guess we could, imagine something kind of along the same lines for that. The first one,
Island could, with Australia.
True. Maybe New Zealand.
Or Storm.
That would be cool. New Zealand.
Yeah, you just fly over to New Zealand instead. The first content pack is supposed to hit by the end of the year, the second next year. No info on what they're going to be. You can buy an expansion pass, which will get you both of them for $34.99, and presumably they'll be $19.99 each like the others have been. And then I believe VIP members can get a $10 discount if you buy it by like mid-December. So $24.99 for both expansion updates, which I am definitely going to get.
While we're on the subject of Horizon 3, I just want to quickly note, since last week, I ended up buying the Ultimate Edition, which went with let's try that again, which came with early access to the game. I could not get this game to work on my PC at all. Like, the store was so messed up. A lot of people were having problems just trying to get it to load so that they can install the files. I just got to install the files yesterday, which was Wednesday.
Wow.
So thankfully I had an Xbox One that I was able to play it on. I do have it working on my PC now, and it looks fucking amazing.
I believe it.
Because obviously, like, you don't have to worry about the frame rate being capped, and I have it up to like, I'm hitting about 60 or 70 frames.
Nice.
And my monitor is capable of producing 144. So, but it's smooth. It's really, really nice. The crossplay seems to be working okay, but any of the people that, like, it did not have a very good PC launch, but I guess that's kind of to be expected at this point, because
it's a new thing as well for Microsoft. They're not really, like, I heard Recore's PC launch was also really shaky.
I've heard the PC version of Forza Horizon 3 went fairly well compared to most recent game launches.
Other than the Ultimate Edition stuff.
No.
Like, once it actually got released on Tuesday, everything seemed to be okay. It still took me a little bit longer because I got the Ultimate Edition, but I think it was primarily the Ultimate Edition people that were having most of the issues.
It's kind of funny to me. Buy the Ultimate Edition to get early access. No, wait, never mind. You actually get late access.
Dude, and that's what kind of pissed me off about it, because, like, there were advertisements everywhere on the Microsoft Store for it. Like, buy it, you'll get the early access now. Just do it. Just get it. And I was like, all right, fine. I guess I'll do it. And then I bought it. I paid for the whole fucking thing, and then I can't even use it on my PC.
I mean, at least you have an Xbox One. Some people aren't lucky enough to have that.
I still like you got the Ultimate Edition on what, like Sunday?
No, I got it on Friday or Saturday.
I thought you got it like later in the weekend.
I was going to say, by Sunday, it's not worth it anymore.
Because I was going to say, why did you wait? So you could have been playing it Thursday night, like at midnight.
Because I had shows.
Yeah, bitch.
Shows. Is that your whole
Sorry,
life?
I had work. Doing the work thing.
Speaking of Forza Horizon, the first one is getting delisted.
Yeah, it is. Licenses, probably with like the car makers or the music, are causing the original Forza Horizon to be delisted from sale.
They say it's the end of the game's lifetime, and they've also shut down the Rivals section of the game, which means you can there's 2 achievements that are no longer obtainable, which is a problem just for me. I know you guys, a lot of people don't care about that, but I do because I'm an achievement, right? And I like it. But
Wait,
yeah,
so
they shut down the Rivals.
They just gave that away like a month ago.
They did it because they were gonna get shut it down. They wanted everybody to get their chance to get the game.
Yeah.
Wow, that's clever.
So that's a good way to do it. Like, wish Mickey Castle Evolutions would have did that.
Well, they at least made it backward compatible before it got delisted.
Yeah, but I want the game and I can't get it now.
Well, you had a week once they.
I didn't have any money.
And to be fair, you had a couple of years to get the game.
And it's very true.
I didn't really pay attention to it. I didn't know that it was out for a while, and then I was like, oh, this is out. But I never bought it because I was like, well, I don't see me playing it anytime soon.
But yeah, Forza Horizon and all the DLC for the original game are going bye-bye.
Yep.
Crazy.
So get on that shit now. What, is it like mid-October they were saying it was happening?
I think it was either mid or end of October.
Something like that. No Pulse. I'll be Joe Sugar Daddy, but I'm not giving any money to Krepter.
God, I don't know why No Pulse hates me so much.
I like how you hate the name Krepter so much, and he just makes sure to call you that all the time.
I get over it because everybody on Xbox calls me that too because I have that stupid name. But Krepter's not on the screen anymore, so get over it.
Well, change your gamer tag.
I don't have $10, and I'm not going to waste $10 on a name.
I changed it. I changed mine to SML
job, then I'll change it.
Bitch.
Really? You changed it to SML?
Bitch.
Yes, I did.
I should add you. We're on the same group on Xbox Club, so I can find you really easily now. But I never did.
Oh, Chris, did you finally get in the club?
Space Chris. What what club?
SML Clubcast.
Club. Yeah.
I guess you still don't have the update for that. The club's update.
I guess.
Maybe not. I also rarely launch my Xbox One. Like, very rarely.
I guess because you have shows.
Well, because when I'm playing
PC
games, mostly on PC.
Oh, man. Anyway, a little bit more news I have. Yooka Laylee, they announced some of the character lineup for it, and there's going to be a guest character in Yooka Laylee.
What's Yooka Laylee?
Yooka Laylee?
Like the retro style 3D platformer from a bunch of guys who used to work at Rare.
Okay. All right.
Yooka-Laylee.
Got it.
Guest character, Shovel Knight.
Oh, nice.
Who gets around. He's fucking showing up everywhere.
Shit.
Yeah. He's a big player.
Indeed.
Apparently.
Campo Santo, we just reviewed the game Firewatch last week. They just announced that they are working on developing a feature film version of the game.
Ooh.
Oh, I remember hearing about that.
That's interesting.
I am super excited to see how that turns out. I already said before that I'm nominating myself to be Henry in the movie.
There you go.
I saw that tweet. I think you'd match perfectly.
Again,
take a picture of you.
If you saw the nude in the beginning of the game, the nude drawing, that's me.
That's me.
If you have a PS4, the demo for Dragon Quest Builders has launched. So if you're a Dragon Quest fan and a Minecraft fan, you can start building now.
Minecraft's nice.
So fun news for you people.
Building stuff.
Our friends at Metalhead Software have announced that Super Mega Baseball 2 is coming in 2017.
Oh, that's why they're giving the first one for free. Okay, I get it.
So
that's nice.
The game is going to feature more realistic human proportions, but it's still going to have like a fun overall goofy, cartoonish look and style, but with the same fairly hardcore sim-style gameplay.
Yeah, it was a fairly detailed game.
And
it confuses me.
And online.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
So we will definitely have to get Metalhead back on sometime when the game is near launch, because those dudes were awesome.
Yes, I agree.
And then the last bit of news that I have is that the Advertising Standards Authority in Europe is launching an investigation into No Man's Sky and how it was advertised.
I heard about
I feel
this.
so bad for them at this point. They have just gotten destroyed.
But
They kind of did it to themselves.
yeah,
They do deserve it, but still, goddamn people. They're offering full refunds on people that have spent way more than 2 hours in the game. I mean, at this point, please let them live.
Oh man, but yeah, that's all the news I have. Not sure if you guys have anything else you want to talk about.
No, not really.
I kind of got my Forza Horizon thing out there that I wanted to.
So let's dive into reviews. How's that sound?
Why
Okie
not?
dokies.
Let us kick things off with a big one. Payday 2, The Big Score. Developed by Overkill Software, published by 505 Games, released September 14th for $39.99. Again, this is the Big Score DLC bundle. You can get the full bundle with Payday 2 for $49.99. Console heisters rejoice. Payday 2, The Big Score is here and throws the Payday gang into a new kind of crime spree, ranging from going to Las Vegas to heist the Golden Grin Casino to stealing a fortune and jumping out of a flying plane. With Payday 2, The Big Score Edition, players get 10 paid DLC and 20 free updates, a host of new content including new heist characters, weapons, masks, and more. The update also includes many fixes and changes to the gameplay experience that makes Payday 2 The Big Score the perfect addition to any console heister's arsenal. We've been fairly critical of Overkill and how they've handled Payday 2 on consoles between last generation and the current generation. And Chris, I know you had some hands-on time with The Big Score, so give us your thoughts on The Big Score, the updates to the game, the new DLC. I've had a little bit of hands-on time myself, but I know you're the big Payday guy on the show, so what are your thoughts?
So the primary thing to take away from this is the way that they're trying to do their DLC model on console is extremely different than what they're trying to do on PC. Obviously, PC allows it so that when they're putting out major content patches and stuff like that, and paid DLC content, they can keep that up regularly. So they don't have to just... What they've been doing is just making these bundles, roughly, and this is what they plan on doing moving forward, because they still have a bunch of content that they have planned for the game in general. So there will be more than likely another pack similar to this, because there's already other stuff that has been released, like past the stuff that was in this pack.
Yeah.
So basically what they're doing is just making a pack with a bunch of the major releases so that you can kind of just get them all together all at once and then add that to the experience. All of the content packs in Payday, I have overall been happy with. Like, there hasn't been too many instances, even on the PC when I would buy certain DLC separately, I never really felt like I wasn't getting the value out of it. However, there are still some, like, if you have not jumped into Payday ever before, while this is a good opportunity to do so, because you're really getting the base game for $10, if you do it with the way that this pack is set up, and you get all the DLC separately. I guess I could say that it is a relatively good deal. However, there are some glaring problems with the game if you don't play with other people. Like, one of the main things, and I've been talking about this since Payday was released. I'm primarily a solo player. You can play this game solo. It's possible, albeit very difficult.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I feel like would take this game to a whole nother degree, and to me it just seems that very simple, is being able to order the AI to pick up a goddamn bag. That's it. That's it. That's all I want. Just let me be able to tell an AI player to pick up a bag. Because every time that you do these heists, you're transporting something to somewhere. And you always have to be the singular person that does it. And it's just, it's frustrating. It's extremely frustrating. The game has a ton of potential, like a stupid amount of potential, but it is absolutely, like, it is not fun to play by yourself. like at all. So if you don't have other people to play it with, unfortunately, I wouldn't even look at the game. If you have other people to play it with, and this is the other thing that I kind of want to mention about this particular pack. If you own the original Crime Wave edition on console, the DLC, you can technically get it separately. Like you can get certain parts of the DLC pack individually from this update. Yeah, like they released some of the parts of it on the store.
Let's break this down quick because we're judging the Big Score bundle, which is $39.99, and that includes, these are all separate items that come together in the pack: the Yakuza character pack, Butcher's AK Carbine mod pack, Point Break heists, Gauge Chivalry pack, the Alesso heist, Sokol character pack, Golden Grin Casino heist, Butcher's Western pack, Butcher's Barbecue pack, and the Gauge Ninja pack. And
so the three primary heists that are in that pack, let's say theoretically the three of us are all playing Payday, all right? And we don't have all of this content. If I buy one of the heists and you guys want to play it, as long as one of us owns the heist, then we can play it together.
Oh, sure. I was going to ask, is it like that on PC? Because it's on that on PC.
Yes. So technically, theoretically, if the three of us were playing and we didn't want to buy all of the extra, like the character packs and the gun packs and masks and all that kind of stuff, and we only cared about the actual content, technically we could go in on them as a group and just be like, fuck it, you buy one, I'll buy one, you buy one, and then we'll just all play together and you save a little bit of extra money.
Nice. Yeah, because I know all the DLC are pretty much just like 10 meg keys, because the game itself had like a 20 gig update.
Yeah.
Something huge.
Right. And that's, I like that. That is one thing that I will commend them for taking a little bit more of a stance on, because there are not many console games that do that.
I can't really think of any besides Payday 2.
I'm not familiar of that many that do. So that was one big leap, I feel, for this game on console. I guess judging purely by the content, do I feel that the DLC is worth the money? If you enjoy the game, absolutely. I think it's like Overkill does a really good job of adding good content to their game. It's just a matter of can they maintain functionality of the console version, because the console version tends to always suffer when it comes to their development. And I don't know if it is particularly with, some of the loops that I'm sure that they have to go through going through Microsoft's store or even PlayStation 4s. I don't know how it performs on there, but I'm sure through Steam it's a much more streamlined process so that they can get that kind of stuff out. The game is great. Don't get me wrong. The game is really, really good if you have people to play it with.
Yeah.
If you don't have people to play it with, find people to play it with, because otherwise you're gonna fucking hate it.
Right, well, let's also take a look at the free content. Like, if you don't buy any of the DLC, the game itself is still updated with a bunch of like gameplay fixes and a ton of content. This is what is included free. Like, this is not paid DLC. This is just
this is if you have the Crime Wave edition already.
The Hotline Miami pack, Infamy Update 2.0, the Overkill pack, First World Bank, Honey, I Shrunk the Heisters, Meltdown, Something Ticking This Way Comes, the Aftershock Heist, Slaughterhouse, Santa's Workshop, the Cook-Off, the Car Shop Heist, Bonnie Character Pack, Bodhi Character Pack, the Butcher Mod Pack, and Hoxton Revenge Heist.
You said all of those were free?
All of that is free update.
Holy shit. Because on PC, I believe you had to pay for those.
Some of them you had to, I think.
Yeah. I remember specifically the Hotline Miami ones you definitely did.
So all of that content is free update content. So
Right.
do you guys think that this is going to be the beginning of Overkill showing the console versions a lot more support? Or do you think this is kind of like just throwing us a bone to shut us up? Or,
I think they're going to take the Destiny path and kind of release like big chunks of the DLC because it costs so much more money to update it on Xbox.
Right.
They actually have to pay. They're going to do it.
It's one of those things that they'll just kind of like revisit every year or so to try and update some of the content that, they've been behind on. But I can't see it being as regularly supported as the PC version.
Yeah.
They upload a new DLC at least
All the
monthly.
time.
At least monthly. And it's constant updates. Like, goddamn, I update that game constantly.
Yeah.
Sion says it's a pretty big bone if they're just throwing us a bone, because that is a lot of free content to get.
It is absolutely that. I want to be able to look at it as like, hey guys, we fucked up. Here's some stuff. I guess it really depends on moving forward. It's very difficult to say. I still feel like I got burnt by them in the past, in some regards.
So here's how we could judge this. If you have been turned off from Overkill and Payday on console in the past, does this new update and the new DLC bundle, with the potential of getting the full game with all the new DLC for $50, is that enough to bring you back in and to give them one more shot?
If I had other people to play it with, I think I would give it another shot. And I think it's just because there is such a sheer amount, like it's just a huge amount of stuff that was added in. So if you walked away from Payday for a while and just straight up never even gave it any attention whatsoever, but you were still kind of a fan of it,
yeah,
it's enough to breathe a little bit of extra life back into it.
It's hundreds of hours of content, right?
Oh
there.
yeah, it's a lot of content. It's just a matter of if you can actually legitimately get through it. Because to me personally, and I'm sure there's going to be people that can tell me otherwise, that you can obviously solo every fucking thing in the game, which I'm sure you could if you're at a certain level. But when you're at just like a casual to moderate level of the game and you're trying to go through it solo, forget it.
All right, sounds good. I know I've dicked around with it a bit, clearly not as much as you. I love all the fucking crazy weapons that they've added, the masks that they've added. I love the fact that I could stab motherfuckers with a spatula.
My new favorite concealed melee weapon now is the selfie stick.
Oh my god, really? I haven't played the game in a long time. So.
Just because it does a ton of damage if you charge it, and the concealment is really low, obviously, because people just think selfie stick. But yeah, it's great. So it's a good weapon.
All right, so Chris, sounds like
a lot
overall,
of the new masks are fucking sweet too. So
yeah, plus the new characters.
They really do go all out.
There's a ton of them. There's so many new characters. Jeez.
Yeah, they really do go all out on the heist. Like, there's a huge thing with each one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's like, don't get me wrong. I understand that like there's probably a primarily negative connotation to everything that I'm saying here, but the game is good. It's just if you have to play it by yourself, you will get frustrated.
Yeah.
I just really want to reiterate that, because initially I bought it with I convinced you and Pappy to pick it up.
Yeah.
But even still, like even having just one other person sometimes isn't enough, depending on the heist that you're doing and the level of play that you're at. So
true. We need to get a group game going one of these days.
Wish I owned it on consoles. I'd join you.
Oh, you dumb bitch. Well, you can get the full pack with all the DLC for $49.99.
You think I have $49.99?
Which is significantly cheaper than a Gears 4 Elite controller.
Significantly cheaper.
That is true. They should come out with a Payday Elite controller.
Oh my god.
Oh, dude, forget it. I would cry.
It would look so good though. I love the art.
I do too. The art direction, Payday is just stylistically one of those games that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
All right, next game to talk about is called Touhou Scarlet Curiosity, developed by Enkake Spa, which I'm sure I butchered that, published by Xseed and Marvelous Games, released September 20th on the PS4 for $19.99. You guys remember we talked about the one Touhou game, the twin stick fighting game on PS4 last week or the week before?
Last week? Yeah, I think that was last week.
This is in the same universe. The enchanting world of Touhou comes alive in this beautiful fan-made action RPG. Infamous vampire Remilia Scarlet is bored with her posh, centuries-long life. So bored, in fact, that when the local newspaper runs a story about a gigantic monster, she decides she wants a piece of the action. Unfortunately, she returns home from her first foray to find her mansion heavily damaged with no clues as to who the culprit might be. But this only serves to fan the flames of the vampiric maiden's interest in what's going on beyond the walls of her estate. Now it's up to Remilia and her dutiful maid, word I'm not going to try pronouncing, to discover the truth behind these rumors of monsters and menaces, an odyssey that will take them all over the world as they match wits with a cast of colorful characters, overpower enemies with signature skills and spell cards, rough up a few fairies, and unravel a plot odder than they could have imagined. If you will take note, at the beginning of that, I mentioned this is a fan-made action RPG.
Yeah, so... Yeah, explain that a little. Like
this is a guy who took the world of Touhou, the characters from that fighting game, and basically made his own action RPG, like hack and slash, top down. Well, actually, it's a mix. There's some like top down Zelda style sequences, and then more like horizontal side scrolling style stages that still have like 3D depth to them, but it's instead of a bullet hell, it is a hack and slash action adventure. And it was made by basically one dude. And then I guess Xseed and Marvelous enjoyed what he did so much. And the people behind the rights, they supported it and they published it on the PlayStation.
Wow. Wow. You don't hear that so often.
I know. It's like... there was a fan creation and they're like, yeah, fuck it, it's good enough to sell, so why not? Again, it's available on PS4 for $20. I'm not sure if it's on Steam. It might be. I never looked that shit up. Again, action RPG. It's rough. Like, it is not a super well polished game that was made by a studio. Right. You can tell that this feels more like a passion project. The writing is solid. The visuals look fairly decent for the most part. There's some things that look kind of odd, like buildings and like the size of a character compared to the bed at the very beginning is kind of funny to me. Okay. I guess. The actual gameplay itself is fairly standard hack and slash. Mash the X button. Or no, the square button on PlayStation. Sorry. Mash the square button to attack enemies, hit the circle and the triangle and R1 to do various spells, pick up equipment and, new weapons, armor, accessories to improve your stats, level up, learn new abilities, play through a story. It's fairly standard and it plays fairly well. Again, it's rough around the edges. I don't know. It's an enjoyable game, and I found myself getting drawn into it, but you could tell it's not like a AAA title.
Yeah, but I mean, still, fan-made content. Fucking, I'm fine
good job
with
on
that.
that.
Oh, it's impressive as a fan-made action RPG that was just released onto PlayStation. I think it's really cool what was done. I think the $20 price tag is a smidge high. Like, I could see this being a $15 game. I guess $5 is kind of little to bitch about, but overall, the game, it's an enjoyable game. I'm having fun with it. I'm probably going to go back play it some more. Despite being rough around the edges, it's still a fun, enjoyable hack and slash. Some decent writing, funny stuff in there. And it's cool that like a fan-made project is released officially, by big companies.
That's just so odd. Like, that's so odd.
Must have did a really good job.
It's such a cool thing to see a company back a fan-made creation.
So rare. I mean, look at Nintendo's kind of like,
Yeah.
fuck you.
I mean, we've kind of seen
No, they'll
it.
just let it release and then wait like a day later and then take it down.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of saw it with like what the hell, like the mix of Mega Man and Street Fighter, that one mashup that was made.
Or like the one that just came out recently with Harambe.
Oh God.
There's some what game? I need to know.
They made like a Marvel vs. Capcom clone with Harambe in it.
Oh my God.
And it's like there's an actual like storyline of Harambe trying to make his way home
Oh my God.
through the like the story revolves around Harambe.
Good Lord.
I'm gonna look this up.
Thanks, internet.
But yeah,
But yeah,
overall,
that
Scarlet
exists.
Curiosity is pretty cool. I like the fact that there are the two characters. You could choose which character you want to play, and they each have their own, I don't want to say like fully distinct storylines, but it's basically the same story, 2 points of view of the whole thing. So it's basically 2 stories in one if you want to go through it twice. So for $20, I'll give it a try. It's really cool stuff, enjoyable stuff. If it was a little bit cheaper, I'd give it a buy it. But as it stands, this is just something really cool to support. To see, you know, maybe we could see more fan-made creations embraced by the big companies if this does well. It's really cool. So
Who knows?
yeah, give it a try.
Shit. I found it. Harambe versus Capcom is what it's called.
Yeah, I knew it existed.
You can
like,
download it now too.
Yeah,
Oh, my
I'm
Lord.
fairly certain it's just you could just get it.
Yeah,
I think
too
it's a
bad I
WoW.
hate Marvel versus Capcom, but
I know, right?
fuck that game.
All right, next game to talk about. Chris, did you get enough time into Demon Truck to talk about it?
I got to play it a little bit. For whatever reason, I was an idiot and thought that there was more controls to it, but there isn't. I mean, I only made it to the second boss. I don't know if I'm going to get any better than that.
All right, well, we'll do like a first run, kind of like early look at it, and then you could talk about it more next week. But just
Okay, yeah, I'm down for that.
Demon Truck, developed by Trigger Mountain, published by Adventure Pro Games LLC, released September 26th on Steam for $4.99. A badass rig drives only for the glory of Satan and races with blistering fury towards the next hell in this arcade action immortal trucker. Skill-based gameplay, high scores, demonic fury.
So, gameplay wise, it's apparently just 2 buttons, and I'm a retard. Yeah.
2 sentences is weird together.
Well, I just have to say this because, so I launched the game. It's on Steam, so I launched the game on my computer, and there's a section that is specifically detailed for controls. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll hop into there and I'll map the controllers for the controller, and I'll be good to go. So I go in there and there's buttons for up, down, left, right, and this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, all right, let's get all this set up and then hop into the game. So I hop into the game, and I guess there was probably some sort of splash screen that had like a tutorial at the very beginning of it that explained everything. Somehow I ended up skipping through it and not knowing. And it didn't pop up the next time that I kept like relaunching the game. So I would get into the game, and I would start the run, and I was like, I can't move left or right. Like, it's got to be something wrong with the controls or something. I'd go through the menus and just go like, all right, no, everything's mapped right. Like, I'll go back into the game and see if no, it's not working. All right, I'll try another game. Maybe the controller's not synced up properly. No, it's working. Okay, go back to the other. So I must have did that about 4 or 5 times. I told Joe about it, and then Joe emails the company.
I emailed Stephanie, the PR lady.
Yeah.
Should I just read the email?
Yeah, do it. Yeah, totally.
I said, hey, Stephanie, quick question about Demon Truck. Has anybody else been having issues with the controls in the game? My co-host said he's unable to move in any direction through either keyboard or controller. I figured, if I get some Steam funds, I'll grab it myself to see if I can figure out what's up. But I figured I'd ask you to see if anybody else has reported any issues. She replied back, I don't know, like 4 minutes later.
Yeah.
and said, "You don't control the truck, just the guns and the speed. It says so up front in the first few screens, but he might have missed it. You have to try to stay alive in the runner, not drive."
Right. So basically, it's a vertical scrolling game. Think kind of like was that old? So it was almost like a Type R type racing thing, but it was just vertical. Man, I can't even remember.
Well, I know there's like a Flash game, sort of like Autobahn.
Yeah, like it's so basically what it is this vehicle is just driving in a straight line, and it tries to avoid as much as it can, but it really can't because it doesn't swerve fast enough. There'll be like these red blobs of, I don't know if they're rocks or if they're dried up blood. I'm not sure. But you can't, when you try and drive through them, it'll damage your vehicle. So you can boost through them to gain like a temporarily invulnerability. And you can also do that with enemy attacks so that you're not taking damage from them. You also do that to replenish your gun, because the gun, you don't aim, you just shoot, and it auto aims for you. So really, you're just it's a balance of your two resources being like your boost and your bullets, and one kind of replenishes the other as you use it, so to speak. So like as you kill enemies, you'll gain boost, and while you're boosting, it'll replenish your ammo. So it's literally just swapping between shooting and boosting. And there's like at the end of levels, you can get like random drops that'll give you bonuses where it might be like an extra gun, an extra turret, or like a laser that shoots out, or flames that come out of the side of the car. But there's a bunch of different things that are randomly generated at the end of each level. But the boss battles are really, really cool. It's kind of almost a cross between an auto runner and I guess I would use shoot 'em up, like bullet hell-ish, just because you have to specifically dodge through stuff. Like it is you're just trying to figure out when to move and what not to move.
I really want to know if there was like a screen before you started this, like your truck's out of control and all those controls for like moving your vehicle are just a joke because you can't.
Well,
I can only wonder what you missed.
Again, I think what ended up happening was there was a splash screen, and when I was trying to figure out like if my controller was working properly or my keyboard or mouse or whatever, I might have just tapped through it and not realized. And then when I kept relaunching the game, it didn't launch the splash screen. I ended up finding it in the settings menu.
Proud of you.
And then saw it, and I'm like, wow, I'm a fucking idiot. But yeah, I just figured I would be upfront and honest and let people know that's what I ended up doing with this game, because I'm human. God damn it.
So what do you think
just
for $5?
A little bit less than average.
So far, I tell you what, for $5, the soundtrack, even though like right now I've only noticed maybe two or three songs, they're bangers. Like they kind of remind me of like an old Doom soundtrack.
The soundtrack is actually composed by Andrew Aversa. I hope I'm saying it right. I know him by his name on Overclocked Remix of Zircon. So
it's good. I dig it a lot. It's very catchy.
He does awesome music, and I was so excited when I saw he did the soundtrack for it.
Yeah, that was the one thing that actually like kind of I noticed more than anything. Just because since the gameplay is relatively simple, you have it's easy to kind of focus in on the details of it. The pixel art is really, really good. Really, really good. Kind of has almost like I don't want to go as far as Metal Slug-ish, but it's kind of along the veins of that. Has that like darker, grittier type of feel to it. Yeah, overall, I like it. Even with how little I've been able to put into the game, it's definitely one of the games that I could see myself sitting down and enjoying for a prolonged period of time. I'm already like 60th on the world leaderboard.
Nice. Yeah, we'll definitely have to get you to talk about it more next week. If you are listening now, you have until October 3rd to save 10% off the game. It's only 50 cents, but if you say 10%, it sounds cooler.
Yeah,
it does.
Sure.
And still, for $5,
already at $5. I'm already at a try it, but for $5, I would be already leaning at buy it. Like I said, I only made it to the second boss so far. But if you enjoy games that'll have a little bit of a difficulty to it, but they're not you literally have two controls. So there's very little room for you to be like, oh man, that was bullshit. Like, it's like, nah, man, there's two buttons. I'm pretty sure you can figure this out. But apparently I can't. Yeah, exactly. It's good. I enjoy it a lot. I would say so far I'm already at a try it, heavily leaning towards buy it.
But we'll get a final verdict next week, and hopefully by then I'll have enough in my Steam wallet. I'm at $2.34 right now. Hopefully I'll get up to $5 and I'll buy it for next week because it looks cool as fuck.
Yeah, it's neat. It's very cool.
And maybe I could find the soundtrack eventually as well. I'll talk to Zircon and find out.
Yeah, send him an email.
Next game to chat about is called Toy Odyssey, developed by Hiker Games, published by Digital Smash, released September 21st for $14.99. Toy Odyssey is a Metroidvania-style action platformer that takes you back to a world made from the nightmares of your childhood. Join Brand, an action figure come to life, in his fight against the darkness to save his owner, Felix. Nightmares are only the start of his troubles. Brand needs to uncover the secrets of the house before it's too late, explore the entire house, combat chaos, and save other toys in the battle against evil. Create a huge arsenal and upgrade any items you find. Build the ultimate bedroom fortress to keep the darkness at bay. Unravel the house's mysterious past and learn to overcome all odds. God, this game, cool. When I first went into it, I was like, this is weird. It doesn't tell you that much when you're starting it, but as I've put more and more time into it, I am loving this game. It plays like a Metroidvania game, but it's also heavy with the roguelite elements where every time you die, the house changes.
Okay, that's cool.
Like as
you kind of almost like a Rogue Legacy-esque.
Yes. I mean, when you start, you have a certain amount of hit points and a weapon, and you go out and you try to, get as far as you can for the most part, kill enemies, collect the junk around the house that you'll eventually learn what you need to use it for to fortify the bedroom. Collect nuts, which are the currency. Nuts. And, you'll, after you get so far, if you're running low on health, you want to go back to the bedroom and call it a night. Or if you die, you just go back to the bedroom with what you found.
Really? You get to keep what you found?
Yes. Thankfully. And that's a day. The second day rolls around. If you went back on your own volition, you didn't die, then you go back and explore the same map. Any doors that you unlocked are relocked. All enemies are back where they were, or different enemies. But the map is still the same. So you can continue exploring what you had. Their fast travel in the game is like mouse holes.
Oh, like cool.
Holes in the wall that, you activate it and two mice will come out that you have to kill. And once you kill them, it lights up and then you can fast travel between any of those points. At the end of the night, when you retire, there is a chance that your bedroom can be invaded by the enemy toys, which they could steal your supplies. They could steal your money. There's a chance they could kidnap someone that you already rescued. And you have to use the resources that you find to improve the bedroom by like adding barricades or floor barriers or like watch posts and shit like that. The draw there is that not only does it cost resources, but there's also a time requirement, which is real time. So if say that you
how long it takes to build the thing.
Yeah, it depends on the item as well. Some of them might be like an hour, and then there's bigger ones that it takes 6 hours. So say you're nearing the end of your session for the night, you could just be like, yeah, I'm going to start building this, and I'll come back and check it tomorrow, and it'll be done.
Wait, so it works in like a real time where if you exit the game, it'll still do it?
Yes.
Oh my god, that is awesome.
It's really cool. So unfortunately, you can only have one thing building at a time. I guess kind of so that you don't like overpower yourself right away.
Sure, but that also encourages like playing it every once in a while, even if just for a couple minutes.
Yeah. Now, I mentioned before that if you die, the house resets. Okay? If you stop playing and come back, the house resets.
Oh shit!
But does your room reset? Like, do you still get to keep all your?
You keep all your progress, all your money, all your upgrades, but the house layout resets.
Oh well, that doesn't sound too bad.
The map just reverts back to the bedroom, and the house is completely randomly generated.
That's pretty cool.
So every
could you
time
have like 2 living rooms right next to each other?
There's dozens of rooms.
Can we talk about the art style quick?
I know.
Go for it.
Dude, how would you describe this? Like,
it's weird.
I like any game where you're like really small and you're walking through a huge house. It's just such a cool idea to me to be able to be like mouse.
Like it has a very what's the company that has all the point and click games that we Artifix Mundi?
Yeah.
It almost has like a slight Artifix Mundi-esque style to the backgrounds and stuff.
I could
like
see
to
that.
the environment.
That actually, yeah.
There's like
it's a good-looking game.
Yeah, like there's a heavy amount of detail in it, but it still has like, I don't know, like it is very realistic while still having like a slight cartoonish feel to it. I like it. I think it looks really cool.
And there's like pictures and items in the game that it feels like such a hair away from plagiarism or something. Like they alter it just enough to avoid any kind of legal issues with, hey,
really?
that's like there's pictures of John Lennon in the background. Like famous, like if you saw it, you would know, or just different, like something that you'd see on the cover of National Geographic, stuff like that. There are soda cans that you could destroy that is a straight up Pepsi logo, but with red and green instead of blue. Like it's just different enough.
That way they can make all the references they want without having
pretty much. I thought it was funny.
I think that's cool.
The game somehow is ridiculously addictive. Like I keep finding myself going back to that. I'm like, well, I've raced enough in Forza. Let me check my bedroom. Do a couple of runs. You know, you'll inevitably get to that one room that's just one room further than you should have gone, and you run to like a really strong guy who just beats the shit out of you, and you die, and you're like, oh my god, I had all these rooms uncovered. I gotta start over. No.
I added it onto my wish list already.
I think I'm gonna do the same.
The game, like I didn't have like super high expectations going in, just because it seemed like such a weird, unique title. I thought like this could be a fun one, but this game far exceeded my expectations.
I could easily see that.
Like for $15, I'm giving this one a buy it. I know some people out there are going to be like, what? Really? It's addictive. It just hit the spot with me, and I really, really dig it, and I'm going to put a lot more time into it. I also enjoy the fact that when you do upgrades to your character, like, say you have a helmet on and you upgrade it, he gets a new helmet. Like, he might have, like, a witch's hat, and then the next one will be, like, a cowboy hat or something like that. Like, his outfit and his appearance is continually changing when you upgrade your items.
Just like changing clothes.
Yeah. It's a fun addition to see, like, what his outfit's going to look like next with the next upgrade.
That's pretty cool.
I think my only real gripe is that the company logo at the very beginning for Digital Smash feels very generic, and it's a very odd gripe.
Is that
like
for the intro?
Yeah, like when you first start up the game and they have the company logo for Digital Smash, it looks very generic. I don't know if you could like find a picture of the company logo. I wonder.
I don't know.
Digital Smash.
I'm gonna see if I can find it. It's such a stupid gripe to have.
Yeah.
Is it the green one, like splash thing, or is it like
just?
Oh, I see it. I mean, I guess, but
it just has like a very low budgety feel to it.
I mean, it does, but I don't think that really has any effect on the game.
Oh, it doesn't. It was just like the first impression. I was like, is this like an Xbox Live indie game? And then everything else in the game is like super high quality.
Well,
so again, a very odd gripe. Very odd gripe.
They focus their efforts into other aspects of the game. That's all.
Indeed. So Digital Smash, if you're listening to this, get a new logo. I think it's time.
That is.
You got a baller game. Just get a. No, I didn't put the logo on stream. I actually didn't find it. So
I think I might have found it, but I don't even know.
The game is cool as fuck. So
it's on the wish list now.
Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. Next game to talk about is called Cluster Truck. Developed by Landfall Games, published by our dear friends at Tiny Build, released September 27th for $14.99. A soundtrack is available on Steam as well for $4.99. Cluster Truck is a chaotic, physics-based truck former. Jump your way through insane levels in a game of the floor is lava on top of speeding trucks driven by terrible drivers. CJ, you got your hands on the Steam version of this game, so talk to us.
Well, first I want to say thank you to Landfill because you've made one of the greatest games. Oh, fuck. Well, still,
you dumb bitch.
They did a really good job, and they made one of the greatest games I think I've ever played on Steam. It is ridiculous. It's a parkour game where you're jumping from truck to truck trying to get to the goal at the end of the road, and things can go crazy. There's some levels that are like jump. All these trucks are going this way because all the trucks go the same way, and then all of a sudden you have to make a jump to trucks that are going the other way further down below you, and it's like, oh my god, am I going to make that jump? It is so hard to like control and like make sure that you land on those trucks. I was dying at least like 10-15 times every level. Pretty much. There were some levels that I aced, and it makes you feel good when you ace a level because it's like it gives you more points for actually acing the level. You get like 1,000, and the points are used to buy upgrades that can make the game easier. Like you can buy double jump, which was my first purchase. Obviously, double jump is like the #1 greatest thing you can ever buy in any video game ever. If your game has double jump, it's automatically like a rise above any other game. I'm okay
with that. It was the first thing that I did in Rogue Legacy.
Double jump is a need. And even in just like a first-person truck jumping game. I'm talking about Cluster Truck Knuckles. He asked what was in. The game is really hard. Like, holy shit. Some of these levels get ridiculous. I was in the laser world, and these lasers are crazy. I did not expect to see like lasers flying all over the place, cutting me in half. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck happened? Because it's kind of a weird thing where each level or each stage has a theme. So you start out in this like forest area, actually the desert is where you start, and it's a pretty easy, like everything's straightforward. There's nothing really going on. I don't even think you make a jump to a truck's going in another direction. I think it's all just like go this way, you're done. Then it gets a little more complex with the forest stages, in which you have things that'll be in the way and you have to jump over them while also maintaining on the truck, because if you fall off the truck, you die. You have to be on the trucks at all times. And then you'll move on, and the ice world is my favorite one so far because it gets really chaotic. There's a lot of jumping. Like there was this one level that like spiraled down, and so you had to keep jumping on trucks that were going in other directions in a spiral down, like a staircase, until you eventually made it to the goal. It was ridiculous.
Nice.
And then the last world I was able to get to was the laser world. Before I was like, okay. Well, thanks, lasers. You're really killing me. I mean, they are a bit ridiculous. The soundtrack in the game is well worth that $5. Like, if you're gonna buy the game for any reason, the soundtrack is the one, because that every stage has a different soundtrack, and it sounds so good in each stage. Like, I wish I would have gotten further so I could have seen more, but those Laser World, like, that's a real tough thing. Another ability is the grappling hook, which I bought, and I didn't really get to play with it too much before I gave up. But when I did, it was actually a pretty cool idea to be able to grab a truck and pull yourself up to it if you're about to fall on the ground or something. And another really interesting way to save yourself is if you jump on a truck but you hit like the side or the back, but you're not like actually on top of the truck, you kind of like attach yourself to it for some reason. Like, I called that Spider-Manning it, because you could like wall run across the truck and then jump up and get on another truck. Or you jump on the back of the truck and like latch on the back and then jump again, and you can jump up on the truck. That was like the greatest thing. I loved being able to just scream out like, I Spider-Manning it. Because I did that consistently. I came up with a name for that, and if anybody else calls that anything, then they're wrong, because it's Spider-Manning.
Hey, No Pulse is right. You are 12.
You know, I'm allowed to like. I don't even like superheroes, man.
Whatever.
I'm making a
it's parkour, man. You got a parkour.
Yes, it's parkour, but you know, Spider-Man's famous for parkour.
Truckcore.
How I watched like a couple videos of this. It looked pretty fast.
Oh, it is insanely fast. Things go crazy quickly. Like the trucks are all moving at least 80 miles per hour. Luckily, you're very fast as well, and you're dumping.
I looked at it once, and I was just like, "All right, this seems like an interesting concept." And then I started really paying attention to how fast the gameplay was being played at, and I was like, "Wait,
there
that's
was some
really fast reaction time." Like,
yeah, some stages where I was like, I had to Spider-Man it by mistake. Like, there was some parts in which I was like, "What's going on?" As I'm jumping all over the place. Like, what am I doing?
Just hope for the best.
Because the trucks, they'll get up in your face and blow up if they hit something wrong, and they'll get up in your face. There'll be trucks flying in the air, and you get points if you jump off those trucks. Like, because these trucks are flying in the air from driving off of something. And it's like, oh my god, what the hell is going on in some levels? And then there's stuff that the trucks might drive into that'll break, and then there's like debris in your face as you're trying to see where you need to jump next. This game is insane, and I want to play more of it.
Did you play Super Truck at all?
I've never heard of it.
It was...
Oh, no, I have heard of it. I wanted to play that. I was looking for it, but I think it's further in the game.
No, Super Truck was like an April Fool's thing that they released. That is a super hot version of Cluster Truck.
Yeah, I heard about that. I thought that in the interview they had said that they were actually putting it into the game.
Oh,
too.
Maybe. I don't remember.
I remember listening to the interview and like, oh, they're actually putting it into the game too. But I didn't get to that stage. I wish I would have.
So, what's your verdict on it?
An absolute buy it for $15. Like, the price might be a little bit steep, but the fun that you're gonna have with the game is worth it. Like, even if the game doesn't last you all that long, you're still gonna have so much fun that it's gonna feel like you were playing for hours of just crazy shit.
Nice. And the game is out now on Steam and PS4, and hopefully the Xbox One version will be out soon as well.
And the soundtrack's also a buy it, so make sure you spend $20.
And a little bit of kind of breaking news right now. They just announced a new color Xbox One is going to be releasing November 1st at GameStop and the Microsoft Store. And it is a blue 500 gig system. The blue is more of like a kind of like an aquamarine.
It's like a
like
teal.
The Forza blue.
That's an interesting. Yeah, it's more teal-ish.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how well it's coming across on
in the
stream.
In the stream.
Oh, I have that pause. Damn it.
Yeah, they apparently during a Titanfall 2 stream on YouTube, they unveiled it, and again November 1st at GameStop and the Microsoft Store.
But I want the gray one.
Well, that
the gray one
there
looks nice. Why isn't the gray one the 1 terabyte?
I know, right? What the fuck?
It's like the gray one looks so much better than the green one.
The one tripled
the gray one. I want the gray one.
Me too. They should have offered like
said
options.
It looks black. It's definitely not black. It's like a blue-green. Where's the hot
Where's
pink?
the hot pink?
Yeah. I'm surprised they haven't done that yet.
I'd get a hot pink one.
Where's the see-through purple one? What the fuck?
That's
So
the
that would be sick to have
N64.
a seat console.
No, I want to see through purple Xbox One.
Oh, man. Let's see. Next game to talk about. We're going to kind of like tackle two at once here. First up is The Bunker, developed by Splendy Games, published by Wales Interactive, released September 23rd for 1999. As the last remaining survivor in a nuclear bunker, John's daily routine is the one thing that keeps him sane. But when an alarm goes off, his mind starts to self-destruct, venture into long-forgotten areas, recover repressed childhood memories, and unlock the dark secrets of the bunker. The bunker is a completely live action experience filmed on location in a decommissioned government nuclear bunker, with a plot crafted by writers behind The Witcher, Soma, and Broken Sword, starring an incredible cast including Adam Brown from The Hobbit, Sarah Green from Penny Dreadful, and Graham Fox from Game of Thrones. The other game is called Virginia, developed by Variable State, published by 505 Games, released September 22nd. Virginia is a single-player first-person thriller set in a small town with a secret. Experience a missing person investigation through the eyes of graduate FBI agent Ann Tarver. Together with your partner, seasoned investigator Maria Halpern, you'll take a trip to the idyllic Burgess County in the secluded town of Kingdom, Virginia, where a young boy has vanished and nobody seems to know why. The reason I am kind of lumping these two together is how last week we had like a walk-sploration back-to-back of Firewatch and Dear Esther. These are both very much interactive movies. The Bunker plays like an old-school point-and-click adventure game with 100% live action. Like
That almost like
so
Phantasmagoria-ish.
Kind of, yes. It is pretty much incredibly linear, with the game pointing you to go here, click this. There's a minor amount of like, you could check out this, but you don't need to. Where Virginia is a first person, instead of a point and click adventure, it's, it has more walking elements to it, but it's not something where there's a lot of exploration involved. They're both very much just playable dramas, and both games are all about the story. I'll start with The Bunker, where you play the role of John, who grew up in a nuclear bunker with his mother, and you are the last two alive in there. And at the beginning of the game, mother passes away, which I think was the only bit of poor acting in it, the mother dying scene, which... yeah, I'll give it. There's always something bad in everything, but you then proceed to just live your life in the bunker by yourself, doing your day-to-day routine until things start to go wrong. Some radiation starts to seep in, and you have to figure out what happened, why it happened. You have to explore the bunker that you haven't explored since a child, and again, everything is done in completely live action. There's well,
it's 24. It's shot in 24 frames, so it's very much.
It is a playable movie. There's some quick time events. It's point here, click here, read this, listen to this tape, and it's basically a fairly linear event of going through scene by scene. It's not so much a game as it is a movie. And there's times that I was playing this and I just wished it was a movie instead. I mean, it's a great story. The gameplay is very basic, but I mean, I'm not sure what you could expect out of this.
Do you feel like having to go through the gameplay elements took away from being engrossed in the story more?
At times, like I would be involved in a cutscene and then it'd be like, quick, mash the A button. I'm like,
Yeah, QuickTime events within cutscenes are never fun.
The entire game is a cutscene for the most part.
That's why I asked, because I mean, like, do you feel like the story would be received better not having the gameplay elements in it and straight up just a movie, or do you feel like the gameplay elements enhance the story?
It's a mix. There's some points where I just wish it was a movie so that I didn't have to bother with a QuickTime event, but I'm also happy that I was able to, at my own pace, like read the stuff on the computers or read the documents or listen to these audio tapes that in a movie you probably, that stuff will get skimmed over. So you get some more of the backstory. You get to figure out why they're in this bunker and like the different areas of cities that were hit and how many dead there were that you might not see in a movie version of this.
Okay.
So there's definitely parts where it was to the benefit of the game, and then parts where, I could have done without. Overall, the acting in the movie, for the most part, the acting in it is fantastic. Adam Brown carries this entire game on his shoulders for the most part. There are sections where it plays out through flashbacks of him as a child, and you get to see all the people that were in there and how people just start mysteriously getting sick and start dying. And then, the one guy is chasing down you and your family, and you don't know what's going on. And all this stuff starts to get revealed over the game. And it's, by the end of the game, I'm just sitting there you motherfucker. It's, looking back, it's a twist that since I played through it, I could be I could see where they were kind of hinting at that. But as I was playing through, it didn't really, click to me at the time. I was just engrossed with it. Achievement hunters might hate this game because there's a lot of stuff that's missable, and there's no chapter select.
I don't think they'll hate it simply because I think that it might sell a little bit better if the achievements are at least easy, because there's some aspects.
It's a very easy completion if you have a guide, and the same is with Virginia. I think
there will be a lot of people that'll just use a guide to get everything.
I think if you're doing that, though, you need to play the game twice, once to experience the story, and then once to go through and mop up your achievement whoring little self.
That's how I normally
your self-worth. I think if you just played the game once with a guide, you're missing the point of this, because it's more of a movie than it is a game.
Some people don't care about missing the point, though. They just want their 1K.
True.
Some people don't actually play games to have them, because they're like that.
For $20, it's fairly steep for what is, for the most part, a very short experience. You could beat it in about 2 hours.
Yeah, I could see that for a movie game.
I mean,
movie game.
Given the production quality in the game, I can see where it's worth the price asked. And overall, the story is fantastic. I would look at it as you're buying a movie.
Yeah, and movies generally are 1 to 2 hours, maybe 3 max, and normally at starting price they're $20 for a movie.
There's an actor from The Hobbit, so make believe you're getting another Hobbit movie. Yeah. It's $20 and 3 hours long. It's a really cool story, though. I wish some of the achievements weren't as dickish as they were. There was stuff that you had to... One of the achievements is to read all the documents in the game, and near the end of the game, I missed one. Because it was you can pick this to do something, or I was well, I could pick this up, or I could pick this item, and you never know which is which until it's too late. And the item that I needed to pick up to read... Which, by the way, a medicine bottle, if you get there, that's not really a spoiler. You could pick a medicine bottle, or you could pick up some item, some utensils, and you need to pick up the medicine bottle to read it. I thought he was going to take the medicine and oh, he feels better now. No, he would have read it as a document. And I don't know if I want to play through the whole game again just to find the one item I didn't get.
I'm not sure if anybody knows this yet, but it's it doesn't seem like anybody's really said anything, but what if you had to go through and get every collectible again? It's a one run thing.
I think you have to get everything in one run.
Ooh.
Yeah. And again, if you have a guide,
but it's 1 to 2 hours.
You'll be fine. It's a 2-hour experience. And if you're just going through it a second time, another issue, I wish you could skip some of the cutscenes.
Oh, it has unskippable cutscenes?
Well, it's meant to be a movie, so...
Yeah.
I mean, there's times, some of the transitions from, you click this area to walk to the next room, and it's a 15, 20-second long transition of him walking and then a different camera angle of him walking and then switch to another camera angle of him. I'm just like, let me fucking get to the next room.
Yeah.
But for $20, I think it's worth trying out. It's a great story, fantastic acting, except for that one part at the beginning. Achievement whores, you'll both love it and hate it because it's easy achievements, but a lot of missable stuff if you're not using a guide. But I think it's worth playing for the story. Virginia, another game where it's very much about the story, where I don't want to say it's a walking simulator. It's just there's a lot of walking to get from one point to the next, but they don't draw it out too much. Like you're in an office and you need to take an elevator down to a bottom floor to walk down another hallway to an office, and instead you'll like start walking through an area and then poof, you're in the elevator, and then poof, you're walking down a hall, and then poof, you're walking down steps, and then poof, you're right there where you need to be. So it has very movie-like transitions where you're not walking the entire time. It helps to speed things along. This is another game where achievement hunters are going to be infuriated.
Yeah.
Not only is nearly every achievement in the game missable, but they all have fucked up achievement values.
Yeah.
Like if you don't like your achievements ending in a 7 or a 9 or a 4,
it's all over the place with this game too.
You're going to have a bad time.
But I mean, if the game's easy enough to complete, you'll still get your 1,000.
Yeah.
So it'll end up normal in the end. But still.
But it's another one of those things where you need to have a guide if you're planning on completing the game. The story, I wish I could really go into detail on the story, but there is zero dialogue in the game.
So is it like all like kind of pick up like the story by looking at things?
It's
like you just kind of watch things happen.
Pretty much. You have to gauge things off of reactions and, trying to decipher what's real, what's a dream, what's imagined, what's an acid trip. Literally, what is an acid trip? It's a lot of people are comparing it to like the X-Files or Twin Peaks, stuff like that, like a David Lynch feature. And I can definitely see the comparisons. But it's just, I wish I understood it more than I did. Virginia being $10, I can recommend this one a lot more than the Bunker based on cost. Both, the Bunker has a better, more I guess more obvious storyline to it, where Virginia is more of a subtle kind of like everyone's going to have their own interpretation of it. But they're both really cool games, cool experiences, but don't go in this expecting a video game.
Because they're not.
They are about the story, about, the experience and the drama. So I'm going to give both of them a try. If you were to only pick one of them, I think I would go with Virginia over the Bunker, mainly based on cost. You're both games going to get about 2 hours out of. And then if you play it again to mop up the achievements, double that.
Fair enough. I understand that.
All right, next game. Eventide, Slavic Fable, developed by the House of Fables, published by Artifex Mundi, released September 23rd on the Xbox One for $9.99. Eventide Slavic Fable is an exciting adventure game inspired by Slavic mythology, set in a contemporary heritage park where mythical Slavic creatures coexist with humans. The adventure begins when the protagonist, a famous botanist, receives an alarming invitation from her grandmother, the park's curator. The protagonist is tasked with saving an endangered plant, but this turns out to be the least of her concerns. We had a review for this one written in by our friend No Pulse. And Chris, you've got that email.
I do. So at the top, a TLDR. This jacket is torn. I need to fix it. Ned. Not need. Ned. Developed by the House of Fables and published by Artifex Mundi and Eventide. Mundi.
Manic Monday.
It's just another Manic Monday. Eventide Slavic Fable is a charming hidden object adventure game similar to the other games published by Artifex Mundi. In Eventide, you find yourself playing the part of Mary Gilbert, a botanist coming to help your grandmother, Baba, after getting a letter from her.
I call my grandmother Baba too.
Baba runs a Slavic historical theme park type of place called Moorland. You end up finding out that she's been kidnapped by Boruta, and that your task is to save her and stop the evil Boruta's plans.
Boricua.
It's I don't know.
Those
Boruta. It's Boruta.
Some real interesting names so far.
Yeah, right.
At least I'm good with Baba. My Baba.
Yeah,
I love my Baba.
Baba's easy enough.
Oh, I didn't know that you were being serious about that.
Yeah, my Baba is Slavic for grandmother.
Yeah, I find it a little hard trying to review a game like Eventide because it's a puzzle hidden object type game with story parts in it. I can't really tell you where the objects are, and I don't want to ruin the story by going in depth. With that being said, I enjoyed the story more than the Nightmares from the Deep series. The additional story that unlocks after beating the main story was good as well. One of the things that stood out to me from the other Artifex Mundi games was that this game doesn't have mahjong puzzles in it. If you like the other games that Artifex Mundi has put out so far on the Xbox One, you will enjoy this one as well. The additional story flowed well, and it was pretty quick to finish. The quote at the start of this review was a typo from the additional story that is unlocked after you complete the main story. Not a big deal, but something that was missed by other QA people. I found it a little funny that one of the first things that you do in Eventide was to put out a fire with a fire hose. This is the same as Nightmares from the Deep 2. I'm not sure if this is a nod to the other games or pure coincidence, but it did stand out to me since Nightmares from the Deep 2 was the last hidden object game that I played. There's also a puzzle that involves filling a drain full of water, which is also a puzzle from another Artifex Mundi game.
I mean, to be fair, after you make so many hidden object puzzle games, you're probably going to start repeating puzzles a bit.
It's stylistically. I mean, I would be curious for someone to go back and make sure that they're not like part for part how you would solve them. I would be fine with it.
I mean, to be fair, Artifex put out like 400 games on Steam.
Yeah,
exactly. They still have so many more that just haven't come to Xbox.
Yeah. If you're an achievement hunter, they should also take about a few hours to get 100%. I got 700 out of 1,000 without even trying. I missed 2 achievements by only a few items, so some of the collectibles are pretty much in your face. The rest of the achievements are your standard fare with these games, though unlike the Nightmares from the Deep, this game doesn't have the mahjong games to play. I would give this game a buy it. It looks like there's already an Eventide 2 out on Steam, so let's hope that comes to Xbox One as well. Lake.
Nice.
I will say that I would miss mahjong because I love mahjong.
Well, see, I like the fact that
mahjong was a slow burn for me.
It
took a while for me to actually enjoy a mahjong game.
I like the fact that Artifex games, like if you don't want to do the hidden puzzle stuff, you could do mahjong instead. But then for achievement completionists, you have that thing where if you decide to flip-flop between the two, you're going to fuck yourself on achievements because it's always like complete the game doing all mahjong puzzles. You're doing all hidden object puzzles.
Yeah.
And then something else.
So it's like forced 2 playthroughs at least for achievement hunters.
And then something else to keep in mind is that this game isn't developed by Artifex Mundi. They only published this one. So it's cool to see them. That. Yeah, it's cool to see them publishing other hidden object puzzle games and seeing those come to Xbox One. Seriously, Artifex could put out another game every month until the end of time on Xbox, and I will buy every single one.
They'll make so much money just off of you.
They're just good games. They're good games. They're enjoyable. They're fun. And guess what? We have 2 codes to give away. So there's something to keep in mind for next week. We got 2 codes for Eventide Slavic Fable to give away on our show next week. And all you got to do is email us at the SML Podcast at gmail.com. Tell us why you want it, and you have a shot at getting one of those 2 codes.
Artifex has pretty much nailed down the hidden objects games on Xbox One.
Yeah.
Like, there's not really other ones coming, so
bring them the fuck on. And I like the fact that they're starting to bring them to PlayStation as well. So
Oh,
Hopefully they'll get some more of them. I know they got, I think, the first Nightmares from the Deep over there.
cool. So they're starting up on everything. Maybe one day it'll be on the NX.
Bring them on. Bring them all on. Those games would be fucking awesome on Wii U. With the tablet controller,
actually,
the hidden
yeah.
object.
I could see that really well, like having the little puzzles with the hidden objects actually on your little tablet thingy.
Maybe one of these days we could get someone from Artifacts on the show. I invited before. I'll cross my fingers one day it might happen.
I mean, they're so nice to you. I'm surprised they haven't yet.
Yeah.
They're constantly like, here's some games and here's some to give away too.
Final game to chat about is called Mount and Blade Warband, developed by Tale Worlds Entertainment, published by Koch Media, released September 16th for 1999. In a land torn asunder by incessant warfare, it is time to assemble your own band of hardened warriors and enter the fray. Lead your men into battle, expand your realm, and claim the ultimate prize, the throne of Calradia. Calradia? One of them.
Yeah, Calradia.
I've wanted to cover this a bit earlier, but I have been having so many issues getting into this game. There's a lot of games that, well, let's get this out of the way. It is a third-person action RPG with strategic style elements. It's not a strategy game, but like the overworld has a very strategy overworld map feel to it, where you select where you're going. Your troops move in real time. You can run into different characters on the map that are all walking at their own pace. The actual battles and exploration in the game is very similar to like Skyrim, where you could either be first or third person. It's not the prettiest game in the world, but it's kind of an older PC game. You could tell the interface, they did what they could to bring it over to console, but a lot of it is like, you kind of wish you just had a mouse and keyboard to click on the things instead of moving a cursor slowly to where it needs to go.
Yeah.
Kind of like some of the qualms that I had with Kerbal.
Space.
Yeah, probably. The actual gameplay to the game is really fun. The battles are fun. The controls could be a bit clunky. It takes some getting used to. There is a fairly decent tutorial to help you learn everything. There's also an online mode where you can have battles of like up to like 100 people.
Like 100 different people connecting from different Xboxes?
I don't know. I don't know if it's 50 on 50, but it does have up to 100 units. I don't know what the real to bot ratio is. I think someone said it's the real people caps at 32, but I don't know for sure. I'm not much of the online guy. I've dabbled in it, but I didn't really take notice in it. I've been mainly focused on the story because the story in the world is massive. It guides you through a tutorial. You have to, recruit members, and then you have to go save someone from a bandit cave and take out the bandits, and then go back to the village and return the person. And then you have to like overthrow the one guard in town and have a battle in the village. And then it's like, go on your adventure.
And that's about it.
Yeah. Like there's some games that don't hold your hand. This, it doesn't hold your hand. It doesn't have guardrails up for you. It doesn't have markings on the road. There's not even a road there. Like it just kicks you out the door and says, go. There's no, markers on the map that's like, you have a new quest here. You have to just venture around, talk to people, and hope that you can figure out some stories that you got to do. Like one of the early stories in the game is you have to go rescue a lord from another castle where he's prisoner. You go there and you can't get into the jail, and the guard is like, oh, well, you need permission to get in there. And then I would go to the king, and the king wouldn't mention anything about it. So there was another option where you could like bribe the guard. So I'd bribe the guy and he would let me go in to see the guy. And the guy's like, well, I can't get out of here without the key, which you need the key from the fucking guard. So the option is to like fight the guard. But when you fight the guard, there's like 4 other guards that gang up on you. And, I couldn't figure out, first off, I couldn't figure out where the hell the guy was. Some of the menus in the game are like super convoluted to get through. And you know, I had to go on fucking GameFAQs to try and find some help on how to get this dude out of the jail. I finally gave up on trying to get the guy out of the jail and just went venturing elsewhere. Yeah, did some quests, attacked some bandits, recruited a bunch of people. I ended up getting completely wiped out, so it was just me, and I lost all my men. There is so incredibly much to do in this game for $20, but you need patience to figure out where the hell it is, because the game's not going to tell you where it is.
There's one thing that I particularly want to mention about this game. I very, very rarely see a game that's reviewed on Steam that the user reviews are overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah.
Most of the time I'll see like mostly positive.
Very positive.
Very positive.
Yeah.
Positive.
Mostly negative.
Overwhelmingly positive on Steam.
Yeah.
Recent and overall. So it's not like they're not padded bullshit.
Yeah. The thing is, you need to have patience with the game.
And I feel like it'd just play better on PC anyway, which might be
first off, I think it would definitely play a lot better on. It's a game that was designed for PC. I'm not saying
it was ported, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying the console port is bad, but it's rough. You need to be patient with the game. You need to be patient with the mechanics of the game. You need to set aside a lot of time to get fully invested in this game. And for some people, they're just not going to have that time, and they're not going to have that spark with the game. And I'm one of them. And I feel bad because I've really, really enjoyed the actual mechanics of the game, but getting into the story and figuring out what to do, I couldn't get that spark with the game. I'm giving the game a try because I can recognize the good that's there. It's just not for me, and it's not for everyone.
Okay. Like, I mean, I can give you a scale on like the time based off of the reviews on Steam. This dude, 936 hours. Dude, under that, 2,100 hours. Dude, under that, 1,600 hours.
Yeah, like that's a lot of time to be dumping into a $20 game.
If this game grabs you, it is going to grab you and never let go. I'm going to keep trying it to see if it does grab me in that same way, but I don't think I personally have the time required to get drawn in the same way. Mechanically, I enjoy the game. If there was a little bit more guidance to the game, at least at the beginning, because the tutorial in the game is maybe an hour. If, you know, they held your hand just a little bit more through the game, you know, to help you kind of like explore areas and kind of get the way the game works a little bit better, it might be easier. Again, if you get sucked into this game, you're going to waste an incredible amount of time on it because there's just so ungodly much to do in the game.
Yeah, it looks like a real, like probably a Skyrim's kind of fan would get into this.
Yeah, and the battles in the game are fucking crazy. Like when I have 30 some guys charging against 30 other guys, and it's just a sea of people, and there's friendly fire, so I'm like accidentally killing my own dudes.
That's
way to go.
And a fun twist is that you can choose whether to be like a male or a female. And in those times, you know, it wasn't like today where it's sexual equality. Women weren't looked at as people with power in those days. So playing as a woman is kind of like hard mode in the game.
That's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's like more historically accurate, I guess.
Yeah, because, you know, the lords don't take a woman as seriously, and you have to fight harder to be taken seriously. Although the game does kind of reward you for that because there's a handful of achievements in the game you can only get as a woman.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So it sounds like is there achievements that are only men? Like,
no.
Man? Then it sounds like the person you should be playing as is a woman in the game if you want all the achievements.
So play it on hard mode if you want to get all the achievements.
Basically.
But yeah, the game...
So you said try it?
The game is a lot of fun, but I'm giving it a try it because it is so hard to get into for many people. But if you get into it, you're golden. You won't need another game this year. You won't need to spend money on a Gears Elite controller for Starr Mazer. Because you'll...
No, but he wants a Gears controller for Mountain Blade. So.
Yeah.
That's the real thing.
So yeah, those are the games of the week. Payday 2. I guess, Chris, you're giving it a try it overall?
I guess so.
It's
yeah.
A second chance. Give it a second chance.
Yeah. Try it / consider it again if you already had it.
Eventide is a buy it. The Bunker and Virginia are both try it's. Toy Odyssey is a buy it. Mountain Blade is a try it. Tohu Scarlet Curiosity is a try it. Cluster Truck is a buy it. And Demon Truck is a mostly, really close to buy it. We'll talk about it more next week. But for the most part, like heavily try it, leaning towards buy it.
Right.
Yeah. DSP is definitely a buy it.
Yeah, Starr Mazer DSP. I figure we didn't even need to go into a review on that because we had them on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the buy, baby.
I mean, if you listen to that interview at the beginning and you still didn't buy the game, what's your fucking problem?
Don is a fucking maniac.
He is. Oh my god. I felt bad for Kaz because
my new favorite people.
Kaz didn't get to say anything on the show.
I know, he was just kind of here listening to Don.
And then we'd finally be like, Kaz, what do you think of this? Shit, sorry, I was muted.
Yeah, right. He was probably just watching TV while had one earphone in or whatever. Lost the other one because they're wireless.
That was an awesome chat. So, music for this episode, we're going to play some Starr Mazer music, and maybe I'll toss in Chris's Treasure Island song as well.
Yeah, if you choose.
The Starr Mazer, the soundtrack sampler I have only has 4 songs, so I try to pick good stuff, and if there's something slower, I don't know, we'll figure it out.
Well, or you could use my new track from the 64 compilation that just got released.
There you go. The episode's nearly 3 hours the way it is, so we'll just play 6 songs.
Yeah, why not? Fuck it.
Hashtag yo laughed.
Screw everything. What happened to your free time? It is no longer valid. We have encompassed it all.
Oh, man. One more reminder to check out our PSVR GoFundMe. We haven't budged in a little bit, so if you are going to donate any money to our cause, we are at $345 out of our $550 goal. Chances are I'm going to be camping out at Target or Best Buy to try and get one of these on launch day. Even No Pulse is in chat saying, donate, you bitches. So donate, you bitches. Help us meet the goal, because I don't want Ashley to be like, God damn it, I'll cover the rest. What she's going to do, as long as I can find one.
Yeah, right.
I think the finding will be the hardest part, but I think if I camp out at Target, I'll get one.
Target
or Target. Dan. Tarjarin.
Dan. From Baston.
Dan.
Dan. Dan.
Dan with the thing.
Dan.
Dan Thacker.
All right. Oh, how about? Did I make you do? I think I made you do final words last time, didn't I? I don't think I did them, right?
I don't know.
I thought somebody did them.
I thought you did them.
Hey, No Pulse, give us some final words. You're hanging out in chat. Give us some words. Final word, barbecue. All right, final word, barbecue.
That sounds amazing.